Again, man.
All right, go ahead and just.
Hey, if I have a video up, it automatically starts playing if I click live. That's interesting. That's very
Cool.
Hey, it totally ruined my TikTok.
We're gonna start over now. We're gonna start the whole stream over.
Everyone go away. I give up on today. We're just gonna do it tomorrow. Daniel Clark said, TikTok David is late because he hit his clock with a rock. Very, very, very poetic. Anyway, we have some silly drama to start with, everyone. Well, actually, I could tell people there's drama we need to cover at the beginning, and they would have no clue what we're talking about because there's so much drama everywhere right now.
That's true.
What kind of drama are you guys familiar with over where whatever you've been paying attention to?
Man, there's been some TikTok drama. The Niqabi girls with their manager having a big fallout. The whole Dawa world is going down in flames.
Oh, hang on. One second. Didn't Malik say that Allah has a pee-pee?
Oh yeah. He did. So in his anger, when he's like cussing some guy out, he basically said that he wants Allah to pee on some guy, and the Muslims were calling, "May Allah pee on him," and he didn't use that word; he used another word. But the Muslims were calling him out, and they said he needs to retake his shahada and things like that because he just committed blasphemy.
And he retook his shahada.
He did. To his credit, he did retake the shahada.
That's good.
Ali doesn't know the shot. Did you see that clip? So there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of stuff going around. Ali Dawa apparently doesn't know what ashhadu means. Have you seen that clip? It's going around on X.
No.
Yeah. So there's a Muslim host, and he's like,
that's like I bear witness or something, right?
Exactly.
Wait. I know more. I know nothing, but I know more than Ali Dawa.
Yeah. He said, "Oh, does it mean there is nothing?"
He was trying to like back translate it in his head, so he knows there's no God.
Yeah.
So he said, "I think it means there's nothing. There's nothing." And the guy was like kind of shocked. He's like,
"No, it means I bear witness."
He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. That's right."
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the
funny.
whole Dawa world is going up in flames.
He took so many shahadas apparently. Ali Dawa helped people on the street take their shahada. They didn't know what it meant.
Didn't know what it meant though.
That's good. Good to know. There we have David still in his mom's basement. Yeah. No, guys, this is actually the new studio spot. It's in front of me. I have the desk is still flipped over and was basically traveling and didn't get a chance to finish everything up here, but should be in the next couple days. Well, I'll turn the camera around. I also have to set up my desktop and all that. Anyway, cameras. Yeah, we'll get it up and running here. But anyway, there's some more drama, everybody. There's some more drama. So yesterday I was live, and someone in the chat was saying, Christian Prince said that you sent him an email saying that you don't want to do shows with him because he's going to steal views or something, whatever he was saying. And I was like, I've never said anything like that. Show the email. So apparently someone just messaged me right before we were starting and said, Christian Prince shared the email. All right, so Christian Prince shared the email where I said all this stuff. I only read the beginning, but I noticed something odd here at the beginning. Let me get this powerful email from D. Wood. Here it is. All right, so this is an inquiry email via.
Hey, wait a minute. That's not your email address.
Wait, you don't get email. Wait, Jai, you're telling me you don't get emails from David Wood something ax17 at hotmail.com?
No,
you don't. That's not the email that that I send emails from.
That is not your email address.
And it's weird because Christian Prince and I have emailed each other before, and he knows that's not my email address. Anyway, but look at this. Look at the date on this, guys. September 6, 2010. For 16 years, we've done shows together since then, but for 16 years, Christian Prince has had a grudge because I sent him this email. Okay, everyone. This is the email that Christian Prince thinks I sent. And I mean, I'm obviously we're going to be charitable here because I don't think we could say Christian Prince forged this email to attack me or something like that. I don't think he did, but I think he fell for someone else under a fake account. This would be like me, guys. Right now, I can make some email account. I am Christian Prince at gmail.com and send an email. I am Christian Prince. Hey, you suck. You suck. You don't ever work with me. You're not good enough. And I could do that. You might want to be careful about stuff like that. But here's the email that I supposedly sent to Christian Prince 16 years ago, which is why he's had a problem with me ever since, even though guys, tell me if this sounds like me. Let's read this. Hello, Christian Prince. That's definitely how I start my emails. Hello, Christian Prince. There is no easy way of saying this, but our group and the show want you to stop making out. We get our information from you. You are a rival TV station and internet site. We want you to stay away from us because you are giving us a bad name as well as taking donors away from our show and site. Stop this immediately. We don't want you to call the show and make it out as though you know more than us either. Stay away, please. Stop doing this. We are trying to grow bigger and bigger, so smaller competition. Competition like you will obviously try to steal some of our sunshine. Don't be stealing our sunshine, Christian Prince.
Definitely reads like how you talk. Yeah.
This is exactly how I talk, guys. I will leave you to speak to the likes of Nadir Ahmed on Pal Talk whilst we do bigger things. I'm big on whilst. So, guys, wow. This is Christian Prince has been mad at me for 16 years from sending this email. Since it's 2010, this is probably Jesus or Muhammad days, and sounds like he probably, this guy sent a message saying we don't want him on our show because blah 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 blah. Anyway, guys, this is what we have to. This is kind of. We're trying to watch a debate. This is what we have to deal with here with this level of stupidity here.
You know something else as well? I mean, apart from the fact that, guys, when David writes emails, it's like 2 sentences. He doesn't like. Yeah,
he doesn't have a paragraph.
but even that, it says this is an inquiry email via. So this is his website that he used to have, and there's like an email form on there. So this would be like someone who just types. You could just type in any email address you want to. So number one, that's not your email address. But even if it was your email address,
he can do it.
Someone could just type it in on that website, and it makes it look like it's from that person. So they know, I got to write this person back if I want to. Respond.
Let's mess with CP and send him something from Trump or something like that. He believe it.
Trump at whitehouse.com. Hey, CP, this is from me, the President of the United States, the greatest country and the greatest president. Just want to encourage you to keep doing your powerful anti-Dawa stuff. We really need you. And he'd be like, you see, this is the proof.
Oh, man.
Oh,
but
my goodness.
This is another good example of someone who's like really, really, really smart and good in one area, but then in another area, it's like they don't have much knowledge.
And look at Nadir Ahmed catching strays.
He's probably the one who wrote the email.
What's wrong with Nadir Ahmed?
Yeah, I know. He brings up Nadir Ahmed, right?
It's probably from him. He you know how like they say the criminal returns to the scene of the crime. That was probably him like signing. You know how they
speak to me.
Yeah. You know how like they say like a counterfeit guy will like always have like a signature some kind of way. Like that's probably not Ahmed. He probably wrote the email. Sounds like an Indian scammer. I told you, Nadir Ahmed.
He didn't ask you for lots of money in the email.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He would. So maybe CP would have sent him money.
Boy.
Yeah, we have people saying either this is written by a Pakistani or this is written by an Indian. But yeah, definitely. People are saying definitely someone from India. Yeah, so
I feel bad for him because that's like it's so it's like there's innocence there. Like he fell for something, but he's been holding on to this since 2010. Like he saved the email. I don't have any. Well, I was only a kid back then.
But then when
still.
you work together since then. So why didn't he say to you, well, you said to me not to work with you, so why are you saying work again together?
Yeah, I'm guessing he was thinking, I'm so important now that even David, who didn't want to work with me before, now wants to work with me. So I won't even.
Steal my sunshine.
Yeah, guys, just understand it's really easy to make a fake email account, and it's really easy if all you have to do is enter an email on the form. Then you can actually use some person's real email address. But my goodness, 16 years he's been mad at me. Hey, CP.
Wow.
I just want a little friendly advice here. If you ever get an email from a Nigerian prince who, has like $90 million that he needs to smuggle out, and he's willing to give you half if you send him all your bank info. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. Anyway, so now back to what we're actually here for, guys.
All right.
How much of this debate have you guys watched? No, so guys, we're gonna review part, and actually. Yeah, I think later this week I'm going to get Vocab on to review his part and stuff like that. But
nice.
I want to review some of the different sections because I did see a clip. So I haven't watched any of the debate unless it's like a short clip on X or something. Was at a conference and traveling and stuff like that, and now back. But a guy on X, a Muslim, said Sheikh Uthman needs to stop debating, and he's saying, look, I'm a Muslim, but this was bad. He said at least 3 of these people completely destroyed. He said at least 3 people destroyed him, but he didn't identify who. So I don't know. I kind of like to go through all these clips at some time or another, and we could figure out who the at least 3 were. And then, the others would be maybe other people destroyed him too. And so you can say at least, because you could just say at least 1, and that could be, more. You could say, but you say at least 3, it's definitely 3 that even a Muslim would say, okay, at least these guys wrecked him, but maybe more. So we want to see, it's basically, we've seen a bunch of, God logic. And so I wanted to take a look at some of the other guys, especially some of the underrated guys. And I know Sig is super sharp. I met Sig over in the UK. One of the guys who turned the tide, along with Chris and Bob and others who like completely turned the tide. Speaker's Corner 10, 12 years ago, like Muslims dominating, surrounding people, shouting people down. And by the time we went out there a couple years ago, they were just like cowering in fear the entire time. And it's like Christians learned their stuff and started crushing all the Dawa guys out there. So anyway, I know Sig is super sharp, so we're going to check this out. But what are you guys' thoughts on anything before we jump into things?
We reviewed the session, the part with Avery, and what we didn't know was when this was edited.
You went to the section with Avery. How original.
Yeah. Well, we were going in order.
No, that's the obvious starting point, yeah. Yeah,
we're going to go in order, but we didn't realize that when it was edited out of order. Actually, I guess in real life, Avery was like the 3rd one, but on the video, he was the 1st one. So we were just going to go down, like we're going to go Avery, Elijah, then Sig. And so we watched those guys, but we didn't. So we haven't seen Sig yet. I've seen like half of Sig because I watched IP stream. I got like halfway through his. And then there was a sister named Anita and a sister named Belle. And then Vocab, I haven't seen Vocab because I was waiting to do it on stream as well. So maybe I should come join you guys when you have Vocab on it because I love to watch that because everyone says he did amazing.
I heard that. It would have been funny if Vocab had started off, welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, and then like been dapping it out with Sheikh Uthman there. That would have been classic Vocab. Let's take these first few super chats and jump in because someone's saying something about Sig here. 1 second. I missed something. Why D Wood still on the floor? That might still be on the floor tomorrow, but later this week will not be on the floor anymore. No, it's just I could sit on a what do I got? I got a wooden footstool. I have a stool there, and I've got a chair, but I don't have anything that I'd want to sit on for a couple hours. So I'm quite comfortable laying on the floor. That's what I normally do anyway, like a dog. Avery and Elijah are such strong men. This is Sheikh Uthman. Avery and Elijah are such strong men. Strong men make me donate jizya. People are weird, man. I'm here for some me time like a mafia boss. Did you guys catch that? You guys don't.
Yeah, we had it on your live stream yesterday.
Yeah, Malik. I'm here for the Club Pyru. I'm Pyru. I'm a hardcore gangster, but right now I need some me time.
On the beach, walking on the beach.
He was having a spa day. Facial.
Yeah, spa day. Need some me time. All the while snitching on everybody. I don't think gangsta means what it did back in the day.
Nah.
Guys, please review Anita's part at 135. I believe Uthman lied again on the NET footnote on Hebrews 1:8. He misreads it and cuts it off at the end. We can do that.
Yeah.
Yep, we can.
Yeah, actually, I was told about that as well. Footnotes are like, this guy's like
kryptonite. Yeah,
kryptonite.
Footnotes. Sheikh Uthman versus footnotes. That'd be a funny video.
Yeah. Oh, we can. No, I think we have enough now. We can make like Muslims versus footnote edition because now we have the Niqabi as well. Yeah. So we can like.
She also messed up with footnotes.
So I think we have like 4 or 5 total now.
Let's see. Missed you in Cleveland, Giant DOC.
We're here right now.
You should invite Sig. He has some background info. Guys, Sig was on last night. I don't actually like to bother people because I don't know how busy they are. But if anyone wants to message Sig, and if he's bored and actually wants to do something and isn't doing something else, then yeah, message him. If he wants to jump in, he can jump in. Let's see. Hi, Jai, DOC, and D Wood. Thanks for sharing. Steve's fundraiser yesterday. D Wood, wait until the Bruce Almighty part. Boys, this live is going to be peak. Is that in this section?
That's why I was like, I didn't know about that, and I asked David before I think it was the other day. I was like, hey, have you seen Bruce Almighty? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, great. It's going to come in handy in this review.
That's good. And as a Nigerian, why am I catching strays? Well, quit sending emails saying that you got like $90 million, dude. In the Wood Scrolls game series, the recurring character of Malik the Liar is an Easter egg who thinks he's the PC from Love from a Wingaling. David clearly wrote the email, but pretended to be Pakistani for plausible deniability. That's what I do when I want to be mean. I'll send someone an email, and I'll make myself sound Indian or Pakistani. That way, if someone gets mad at it, I can say, "Oh, you're so dumb. That's not even me." Hey, D Wood, it's your good buddy Ben Samoon. Sorry, I forgot your password on Zoom. What was it again? Yeah, I'll fall for that one. Dance like no one is watching, but email like it will one day be read aloud in a deposition. That is smart. Yes, that's what all of Hijab's buddies did in their fake cooked emails. All right, we ready to jump into this here?
Yeah, let's do it. So,
guys, this is the section between. Oh, and guys, if anyone's posting messages, I probably won't see them. Anyway, I'm normally on a desktop, and I have some stuff on one screen and some on the other screen. Right now, everything's really small, so if I miss something, it's I
think there's a handful of people have an audio delay. Other people are saying it's fine. I think it's a YouTube thing. It's not on our end.
Yeah, try refreshing, guys. Try refreshing. But there could be an issue. Sometimes there is just an issue where things are out of sync. If so, just look away from the screen. Look away from the screen and just listen. Oh, wait, hang on. What is it? Isaiah 1:8 Apologetic says, 118 Apologetic says, why get Cabon? He doesn't even believe that Uthman has the free will to believe an argument. Yeah, he's a Calvinist who believes that Uthman is programmed to be the way he is, so we can't blame Uthman. But we'll get vocab to answer for his Calvinistic views. All right, now here we got it. We got Sheikh Uthman versus young guy. Here we go.
Where do we begin, man?
All right, go ahead and just state your prompt, and that'll kick him off. And
well, hang on. Before we jump in, I'm just trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand the format here, because I understand there were 3 prompts or 5 prompts or something like that.
3 prompts, and they all got changed once, like the day of, like slight changes. So this one changed from like, is Jesus God according to the Bible, or is Jesus God, to Jesus is not God Almighty according to the Bible. So slight changes, but there's a difference there, and it also changes your approach, because if you show where Jesus is called God, he's just like, well, God Almighty. That's what I'm looking for, God Almighty. So it kind of it didn't throw anyone off, but it just got them in different directions. Same thing with the other topics as well. There are 3 topics, and it was like a terrible format when they first proposed it, but they were able to kind of get it to a more workable kind of a format.
So, when I was scrolling through to get the section of Sig, it looked like it was Avery for a long section, then Elijah for a long section, and then Sig for a long section. So is each person doing all 3 prompts, or does each person just get to pick which prompt he wants to address?
Yeah, I think that they just jumped up whenever whoever wanted to take the prompt, from what I understand, because here's another thing that I didn't know as well. Uthman was able to say at the end that none of the Christians stepped up for the Bible is not the perfectly preserved word of God segment, which is not true. Avery explained, and Sig and Elijah all explained that what actually happened was they were running out of time. Uthman had to leave. And this was the last prompt. So they called the last prompt. Avery was getting up to go, and then Uthman had to leave. So Uthman had to leave. The next day he comes back to the studio, records the part. You can't see anyone else in the background because no one else is there. He's the only one there. And he says, "No one wanted to debate this last prompt with me." He's talking like they're right there in the room with them. But the way they edited this was
why would they do that with him?
I don't know. You could tell that they were really, the hosts were really trying hard to placate to Uthman, because I don't know if you know about this, David, but they actually did a fact check section as well, like during the debate. Okay, so you heard about that part. Yep. So they were really placating towards Uthman and his feelings a lot, and he was saying that it was a safety issue because Avery called him a mushrik. So he's like, "Oh, it's a safety issue. I need to protect myself from the Muslims."
He called his wife first and the last.
Yeah, so I mean, he kind of did it to himself. So Muslims aren't going to take it seriously if we call him a polytheist or something. It's really, he's the one that's concerned with what he said. But basically, that's what happened. According to my understanding, was that they all got to choose what prompt they wanted to be a part of. The last prompt, he ran out of time, he left, and then he came afterwards and he said no one wanted to debate him on it, which is a complete lie.
Yeah, so apparently Sheikh Uthman realized he needed to kind of redeem himself after complete humiliation with that nonsense last year of pretending he's ready to debate everyone and everyone accepts, and then he refuses to debate everyone, but still claims that everyone's running from him. And so, one second here, there's someone who needs attention, and it's not.
Aisha.
It's AP.
It's not surprising who it is.
Oh, it was Aisha.
Let's get.
I thought you said it is surprising, so I was like, "Oh, is it AP?"
It's not Almighty
no,
God according to the Bible.
Pleasure, peace and blessing.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
So we're checking out this debate, and Uthman up to Uthman like antics. So this is why you want to get popular in Dawa, because then you can, if someone says, "Hey, we want you on our show," and they know it's going to be a popular show, then you can say, "Okay, well, here are the rules. I get to add fact checks. I get to come in afterwards and record something, and if you don't, then." I mean, it's just crazy because that's how things were. That's what I heard way back in the day. It was different, but way back in the day when me and Nabil were about to start debating, people were saying that back in the day when Muslims would debate, that they would make all these conditions, like if anyone criticizes Muhammad or the Quran, this debate is over, all the Muslims are going to walk out and stuff like that. And it's like they wanted extra levels of control to give themselves some sort of extra advantage and so on. And here you've got Uthman. He gets to put fact checks in afterwards and gets to add video clips recorded afterwards. That reminded me of Muhammad Hijab when he debated the atheist Alex O'Connor, and they had the video, and then he came back. He apparently messed up in his Arabic Quran recitation, so he came back, put the same clothes on, and
that's hilarious.
Did it just standing up against a curtain. And so Alex played. He's like, "This didn't happen. What is this? Right? What are you doing? How do you get to add edits to your video later on and stuff?" But wow, that's just life.
That's embarrassing. I forgot to mention as well, there was another one there that no one got to see because they cut out his segment completely. A brother named Albi, he also was here, and you can see him in the background once the cameras turn, and they cut out his segment entirely because he posted like a little teaser on TikTok or something like, hey guys, get ready, here's the debate that we had with Uthman, like getting people pumped up, hyped up for it. The host didn't like that, and so they just cut him out entirely. So the poor guy, I don't know if he flew all the way out there, and it's now it's footage that never is going to be seen unless they send it to him privately or something. They say, hey, you can upload it on your end, but they didn't release it with the original 1v10. So they say it's 1v10, but actually it was really 1v9 because they cut out his segment entirely. But I have to say, for these hosts, it's very hard to find a Muslim who's willing to debate. So when you find someone, like, they're trying to do everything they can to keep him, they got 10 Christian apologists out there, like, super easy. Like, they sent out emails or DMs or private messages, and they're like, yo, do you guys want to come debate? And everyone's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. I mean, Sheikh, he flew all the way from the UK. Christians are willing to do that. Muslims, it's like pulling teeth. Like, so the one guy they find to do it, I think they're like, all right, we're just gonna do anything this guy says, and we're gonna
And remember, the Muslims tried to stop even Uthman from
yeah,
doing that.
even him they try to stop, and they failed again. Like, they feel that
Everything.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys know? Is this the same thing that Jake said he did a 10v1 on?
Yeah, and that moderator, she cussed him out, and
that's what I was wondering
that's the
about,
same.
because when I clicked on this video to download it, I glanced at the comments, and the comments were praising the moderator for being one of the best moderators they've ever seen.
what?
Man.
Yeah. So there's
Sorry.
great word. This is a great, finally a great moderator. Unless they were reacting to Jake or something like that, I don't know. But yeah. So Jake was saying she flipped out and crashed out, and anyway, you can't trust anything Jake says. So it's a rough situation.
No, I trust him on this one though. I trust him on this one because she did jump in. I mean, you can. I don't think she's that bad in this section, but some sections, like with Bell, she was really over the top with the, like, really inserting herself a lot. But anyway, I'll withhold my
Yeah, some of our audience also say, "Oh, she's fine. Don't go at her." So I don't know how to feel about it. To me, I wasn't really impressed.
They thought we were being a little harsh on her, but
I think you should know your place as a moderator. Stay back.
But she I think she's fine in this section though. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go, guys. Let's check this out.
Where do we begin, man?
All right, go ahead and just state your prompt, and that'll kick him off.
Jesus is not Almighty God according to the Bible.
Jesus Christ is not Almighty God according to the Bible. You quoted a lot of verses. I've been sitting there
Thank
all
you.
day just listening to verses being quoted by yourself, verses being quoted by my compatriots here as well. So I do want to ask you a question. If Jesus said that he was the Almighty, would you say that he would be Almighty God according to the Bible?
That's a strange question. Can you qualify that? What does that mean?
If Jesus says, okay, if I said, I, Jerome, am the Almighty. Like, I look in that camera there.
Mhm.
I said, I, Jerome, am the Almighty. I said to you, I'm the Almighty.
You would not be.
No, would I be claiming to be God?
You would claim that, but that doesn't mean you are.
Cool.
Oh,
so
that's
first of all,
important right
before we
there.
get to Jesus being
I just want to pause right here. I know it's early, but that's very important what he just said. That if he says that he's the Almighty, that's a claim to be God. He's like, it doesn't make you God, but that's a claim to be God.
Yeah.
Very important admission right there, because that's going to change in just a little bit.
Yeah, so guys, you have two issues. One, what is the claim? And second, is the claim true? Like, if I say I am the creator of the universe, would that be me claiming to be God? Yes, that would. It would be false if I made that claim. But if there's someone that you're required to believe, then, or in this case, I guess was the prompt, is Jesus Almighty God, or does the Bible claim he's Almighty God?
No, his prompt was that Jesus is not Almighty. Jesus is not mighty God according to the Bible, or something like that.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if it's according to the Bible, then it wouldn't even
according
be
to the Bible.
like,
Yeah, it was according to the Bible.
If it's according to the Bible, then you don't even have to show that it's true. You could go Islamic dilemma later on or something like that, but you just have to show the claim. Interesting. All right, let's see.
what? Let's see if he even claims it. Would that be fair?
Sure.
Okay, so if Jesus said, I am the Almighty, would he be claiming to be God?
That would be a claim made, yes.
Would you agree that he's claiming to be God?
What's your question?
He's okay.
Okay.
So what
let
he's
me-
asking is if I make a claim to say
The same way that you did it for me. It's okay,
if,
sir.
if I made a claim to say I'm the best moderator, am I
You would
claiming
definitely
to be
be
the best
making.
Oh, that's why they
That's
I
what
saw
people
these
mean.
best
Like, she's like
moderators.
inserting herself in the debate. Like, she's like inserting herself in the debate. Yeah.
No, I mean maybe that's why someone said she's the best moderator, because she was saying if I say I'm the best moderator, you get-
That claim,
You'd be making the claim
but that
she's
may
the
not
best
be
mod,
true
right?
as it is.
She'd be making the claim that she's the best mod.
Sure.
Okay, so the same way that you use your reasoning, glory to God, could you use that same reasoning and apply that to if Jesus said, "I'm the Almighty"? Would he be saying,
Almighty God?
Would he be claiming that Almighty what? What other Almighty can you be?
I mean, people go all the time to say I'm the Almighty and this and that.
Almighty what?
Again, when you ask Almighty and
Yes.
Almighty God,
Uh-huh.
I just want to clarify between that. Are you asking me, does he say I am Almighty God, or
So-
is there?
No, I'm hearing you. I'm
Just hold your thought.
is-
Hold on. He's trying to get through it.
I'm allowing you to finish. I'm not going to be disrespectful.
If somebody says I am the Almighty, that does not necessitate that he's saying he's God.
Are you very sure about that?
I think so. You're asking a question.
Okay,
so.
that's
But
you.
I mean, if you want to make that reference, let's do it.
I mean, that's you. I mean, now we know your character. Look, here's the thing that I want to say. Look, if I
Now we
claim,
know your
remember how we
character.
started this conversation, we're
Sig
very
is
cordial,
funny.
very
I
nice to
like
each other.
Sig.
If
Yeah,
I
he's
say
funny.
I'm
No, Sig's really funny, man.
Yeah, and he's super intelligent too. He's
He's
really good with
extremely
philosophy
intelligent.
and-
Yeah.
yeah,
It does
He's
show
very
his character.
sophisticated.
yeah.
It shows he's trying to dodge. That's what he's trying to do.
Let's just agree to this. Sig is significantly more intelligent than Sheikh Uthman.
Yeah, and he's got credentials that he can prove, unlike Uthman.
Yeah, Uthman can't prove his
The
credentials.
Muslims are going after Uthman now. They're saying that his master's in hadith studies
cannot
we
be
don't know.
found.
We can't find your certificate. We can't find your name. We know people who were in the university when you claim to be there.
And they haven't heard his name.
So, I mean, Sid can at least prove his credentials, unlike Uthman.
I mean, Uthman,
No.
Uthman can come and bring evidence, but
Yeah.
Maybe Allah just made it appear that Sheikh Uthman does not have credentials. All right.
And Sig is really good at Greek too. He's an expert in Greek. So it's like he knows all of these concepts, and Sheikh Uthman doesn't know any of it. And I think this is the big problem I have.
Oh,
when I
that's
see a
Sig
lot
right
of
there in the
these
chat.
Sig, jump in if
Oh,
you want,
that's
man.
sick.
Yeah.
Jump in if you want,
Yeah,
Sig,
Jerome
man.
is Sig. That's Sig.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if you're busy or you're moving or anything else, then don't worry about it. But if you're just sitting around in your room, man. Oh, he says, bring me on. Hey, Jai, can you get him the link?
Do you have?
Yeah, I can.
We're using the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my phone. Wait, hold on.
Oh,
My laptop. 1 second. I can do it.
Okay, we'll mute ourselves until we sort it out.
Yeah, he's gonna send it to you on X or something like that.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, yeah. Let me send it on my X. Yeah, I
All
can
right.
do that.
That works. All right, here we go. Hey, so hang on. Someone says, is that the real Sig? Yeah. Yeah, someone click on it, make sure it actually goes to his page. Saying that because this actually started off as someone, this show actually started off with someone faking an email from me to attack Christian friends. Crazy times. But all right, we'll keep watching this, and we'll see if the real Sig is jumping it.
the Almighty, you said I would be claiming to be God.
Again, if you made
If
that,
I say it.
can I finish?
Yeah, go on.
You said if I said I am the Almighty, am I making that claim? I said yes, you are.
So I am
But
making. Go on.
I would say that the claim that I am Almighty God is much clearer than somebody simply saying I'm the Almighty.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so remember how I'm just use your words. You
Okay,
said to me, and I take it you're an honorable man. You said to me that if I, Jerome, said I looked at
You took that wrong there, man. I take it you're an honorable man. That is not an honorable man. Oh, boy.
that camera right there with all my acne, and I said, look, I am the Almighty. That means I'm claiming to be God.
You're making a claim of being the Almighty. That is correct.
Okay, am I making the claim that I'm God?
Not necessarily.
In what other way? And this is what you know. What you're a sheikh, please,
I got
scholar.
you. I
Could
got
you
you.
please tell me what other word Almighty can mean?
Sure. There's movies called The Almighty Norm and Almighty this and that. You can go
Almighty
Google
what?
them.
What? So we're quoting movies as your
Almighty
evidence. Is this what?
Hey, everyone, let's all have a watch party of the Almighty Norm.
The Almighty what?
He said there's a movie
Norm.
called The Almighty Norm. But guys, this is just weird because I mean there may be contexts where, you know, like there was a radio show that used to say Almighty Hip Hop, Almighty Hip Hop. All right, if you just say the Almighty, what is the Almighty besides God? Right? If you just say the Almighty.
Yep.
But why is he using modern things? We're talking about scripture and ancient text. Even if people in the modern times flippantly use the word Almighty in an ungodly way, is that evidence? Because remember what he said to Avery. He said you can't use the Arabic first and last in Islam, which means God, to say that it's the same way in Revelation when Jesus says I'm first and last, because they're two different texts, two different languages. Now he can use modern
English
with was it Rock Band Almighty? Movie to say to apply it to an ancient text.
Yeah, this reminds me of when we would bring up the Apostle Thomas calling Jesus my Lord and my God, and Muslims back in the day would respond, "No, he's just so shocked. He says, 'My Lord and my God.'" Like someone today would say, "Oh my God." Okay, first century Jews didn't talk like that. Right? They didn't talk like, "Oh my God." They didn't do that. That's a more recent thing. But look at Sick here. He's looking pretty confused. He's looking like, what is this guy saying here, man? I should have put that in the thumbnail.
Again, you said, yes, I am quoting movies as evidence because you
great.
asked how can Almighty be used for other than God. There are movies called Almighty Bruce, right? They're movies given that.
You mean the movie Bruce Almighty?
Sure, why not?
Okay, we've all seen the movie. No, we've all seen the movie. No, we've all seen the movie.
They all lost it. That's why.
We saw the movie.
Yeah, we all saw the movie.
Bruce Almighty. Morgan Freeman was pretending to be God in the movie. He was Almighty.
No, it was Jim. Yeah, so Morgan Freeman actually played God, and he gave his powers to Jim Carrey because Jim Carrey was saying he could be God better. He could be better than God if he just had the power. So Morgan Freeman says, "All right, I'm giving you all my powers," and that's why he's called Bruce Almighty. He's been endowed with all the powers of God.
Oh boy.
Anyway, but it was just funny to see everyone erupt. Okay, so that's why everyone's been posting Bruce Almighty left and right for the past couple of days. All right.
Yeah, I sent him a link, by the way, on X. Oh wait.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh,
he said link isn't working. Please check the description of the video. There's
a fact check there against Uthman.
Oh, okay. He just he's not able to come in, but he said there's a fact check against Uthman in the in this description. But I think you probably downloaded it. It's not on. You're not playing it off of YouTube right now. But that's what he's requesting afterwards, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We've seen the movie. Okay. Look.
Go.
Look. I like you. You lie a lot, but this is what I'm trying to say to you, okay? And I don't mean that you're dishonest. I don't mean you're dishonest. It's okay, obviously. Here's what I'm trying to do. Please.
Isn't it amazing what British people can get away with?
I won't disrespect you, and we all know that when I'm saying this is for a joke, okay? We're not obviously calling you a liar.
I don't see this as a joke, but
it's okay. It's a German joke. It's not meant to be funny. Here's the thing that I have to say to you. So.
This is what he's really funny. Yeah, he's good at like just constantly just tossing in little jabs, and he gets away with it because he's legitimately funny. So this is cool.
Yeah,
doing us Brits proud.
I feel like you can't get away with that with an American accent. Like, I feel like you couldn't like it would be too offensive if you said it like, "I like you, but you lie a lot." Like it just comes off too. But like when you say it like,
I like you lie a lot, but. I'm gonna watch a bunch of SIG videos and start doing that during debates and stuff. That'd be funny.
The problem with you is this: you said Bruce Almighty. We all know the premise of that movie is that Bruce Almighty becomes God for a day.
I'll let you finish.
So when Bruce Almighty is called Bruce Almighty, he's being called God.
Okay. Now, just because he's called Almighty, does that necessitate that he's God?
In the movie, yes, because he's God for a day.
Gotcha. So do you believe Bruce is God?
I don't believe Bruce is God. I believe that Bruce was claimed to be God in the movie.
This guy is such a joke. He's actually saying, do you believe that he's God? Are you kidding me?
No, but if Jesus said it, I believe it. If Bruce Almighty said it, I won't believe it.
What?
Bruce says it, I won't believe it. Jesus says it, I believe it.
Look at this, he's laughing his head off. Like, this is crazy.
It's not a surprise Muslims didn't want him to debate. He is terrible.
So I think maybe he doesn't realize that everyone like is familiar with that movie, at least in the room. Everybody watched the movie, and yeah, we all know what happens in the movie. He's being portrayed as God for, I think it's a week actually, but he's being portrayed as God. So he's like, okay, so do you believe there's actually God? Are you kidding me? Your point was that just because you're called Almighty doesn't mean that it's a claim to be God. then the example that you give actually proves the point that actually he's being called Almighty because he's being portrayed as God. He's being presented as God in the movie. Now he's saying, well, does he believe that he's God, though?
Maybe he's I'm sure he's playing dumb. He's not.
Yeah,
I don't know
so
if he's playing.
yeah, the idea is he's trying to give an example of using Almighty where you're clearly not claiming to be God and it's just some normal inoffensive sense, and then he picks one where someone is actually becomes God, is endowed with all the powers of the Almighty. He's walking on water. Even he parts a bowl of tomato soup like Moses parted the Red Sea.
Yeah.
When he realizes he's got the powers and stuff. Anyway, all right, here we go.
I don't believe in the
think
move as
he's-
divine scripture, though. So let's get.
What are you saying, Isa?
I think that he thinks he's trying to be hip. That's why he's using movie references. The problem is he's grandpa, Sheikh Uthman. So the problem is it actually backfires on him because he thinks that he's like, wow, I'm going to try to be smart and be witty, and I'm going to show movie references and show that I'm really smart. But then he doesn't even get the titles correctly, and he doesn't know the plot of these movies. So it's
Almighty Norm.
sad. And then Sig is able to kind of do an Uno reverse with that. So.
Yeah. So Isa's theory is that Sheikh Uthman is trying to be a hep cat. He's trying to be a hep cat. Super cool for the young people.
To it.
Okay, get back to it.
So your example proved, BT Dubs, that guy was God. Okay, let's just put that there for the side. Now, here's what we need to do. You need to show me either that you can call yourself Almighty and you're not God, even though the prompt right here, and everyone can read it out, says Jesus is not Almighty God. Could you be an Almighty not God, please?
Again, if you're saying in the
I am the Almighty, not God.
linguistic sense, yes, you could. You could be almighty in other things.
Do you know what the word is?
Yes, I do know the word.
What's the Greek
all
word for it?
powerful, almighty.
The
yes.
Greek word, the word that we read.
I don't know.
Okay, pantokrato, yeah?
Pantokrato,
So
yeah.
pantokrato literally means you are having might over every single thing conceivably existing. You understand that, right?
Is that for everything existing? Has it been used in Greek for other than God?
No.
Are you sure?
Pantokrato?
Yeah.
When Christ says, I am pantokrato specifically, when Christ is making that, any single person that uses the term pantokrato is claiming that absoluteness.
Okay.
So
where
here's
is
what I
this
want-
made?
This when Christ says it.
When?
Okay. You have a red letter Bible with you, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Pull up Revelation 1:8.
1:8. Right here.
Read
Yes.
it out, please.
I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, says the Lord, who is and was and who is to come, the Almighty.
What color is it?
Red.
So who said it?
Whoa!
According to this, Jesus.
So Jesus said, I'm the Almighty?
You know what's interesting
Uh-huh.
is I do have a Bible.
Okay.
And what does the Bible say? This is again.
I don't
NET
care about
research.
commentaries
No,
from
no,
people
no, hold
that-
on,
Let him
no, he's gonna cut it off,
finish.
right?
Okay.
Hold on, let him
He
finish.
says this is a shorter reading of Omega, as found in the manuscripts earlier. The longer reading, which indicates the beginning and the end of the Almighty, is not found in the early manuscripts.
So
Hold
That
on
this
a
is a
second
little
now.
reason why.
He's misreading this footnote. So
What? You're saying Sheikh Uthman has a problem with footnotes? Well, why do they call him Sheikh Ibn Footnote then?
so when you pull it up, it's I am the Alpha and the Omega, and then there's a footnote there. And you notice that he continued to read in his translation, he says, the beginning and the end. That's why there's a footnote there. I'm the Alpha and the Omega, and then some of them stop there. Says the Lord God, the one who is, who was, and who is still to come, the Almighty or the All-Powerful. Different translations will render it different ways. But the footnote is telling you that some manuscripts have I'm the Alpha and Omega on its own, and I'm the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. That's the footnote. So the last word, the Almighty or the All-Powerful at the end there, is not the word in dispute. That's not what the footnote is saying. So he's completely misreading.
Footnote right.
Yeah, he's completely misreading the footnote. This is just an example. You know what this reminds me of? Is like, well, I mean, of course, not the footnote scandal, but it also reminds me of it's like when someone he's like quoting something, because how he must have he's got like a study guide with him, I guess. He's reading it. Actually, I think he reads the note, but he reads it wrong because it actually says the beginning and the end in the footnote that he's saying. So it's not even about the Almighty part.
So Almighty is there in the earlier as well. That's why he's trying to say that the word Almighty wasn't in the earlier manuscript. So that's a lie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
So just to recap here, Sig points out that in Revelation 1:8, Jesus refers to himself as the Almighty, and Sheikh Uthman, in order to refute the claim that Jesus is referring to himself as the Almighty, actually goes to a footnote of some study Bible about the part about the first and the last there, and where they say some early manuscripts don't contain this. And he says, see, early manuscripts don't contain the Almighty. Not what it's saying.
No.
And by the way, it's indisputable later in the same chapter that Jesus refers to himself as the first and the last. Anyway, hey, Jai DOC, this would be a good little video titled "Fact Checking Sheikh Uthman," since he was big on the fact checking here. Fact checking Sheikh Uthman, and just expose a couple of the things.
Yeah, and guess what? The same. Did he tell you what Bible he's reading from? By the way, I think it's the. I don't know which Bible it was, but if you go to the NET, which has these footnotes in it, NET is great for. It has like 40,000 technical footnotes. It's really, really great at that stuff, like telling you the manuscripts and different ways you can translate based on the grammar or different like renderings you could give a word or why they include this reading or not that reading or whatever. Well, guess what? On the reading. They translate it as the all-powerful. So you can say the Almighty, the all-powerful. If you go down to that reading, it says the Almighty, the all-powerful, and then it says omnipotent.
Oh dear.
And then it says only of God.
Oh dear.
So it literally tells you that this word is only ever used of God, and it gives, Revelation 1:8, that's the verse we're in, and then Revelation 4:8, Revelation 11:17, 15:3, 16:7, 21:22. All those verses, you go to them, and they all have the Almighty or the All Powerful, and it's always a reference to God. So the footnotes, literally, it's like this footnote is burying him if he just actually read the right one.
You can do it in the video.
And someone said he's reading the NET. So the NET is actually the one that destroys his whole point, because he asked Sig, is this only ever used of God? And Sig said yes. So then that's why he started giving up other examples like, Almighty Bruce, Mighty Bruce,
Almighty
or whatever
Norm.
he said.
Almighty
The
Norm.
Almighty Norm. But actually, in point of fact, the Greek, according to the same Bible he is appealing to, the same footnote he's appealing to, the same scholars, tells you that this is only ever used of God.
All right.
Scribes would have deleted some words in the shorter, so it shows that this indicates this was a secondary addition to the text.
Okay, so remember how
your
before
whole biblical.
I'm just going to continue.
Base just got ruined.
Your biblical. You're trying to debunk me by using not the Bible. You understand that, right?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes,
so you said
it's
I'm
not
going to.
in the Bible,
No,
yeah.
you're trying to use people that aren't the Bible to debunk my biblical claim. That's fine. That's like me.
I did not.
Whoa,
Okay,
you
I'll-
interrupted me,
hold on,
and that's
hold
okay.
on.
I don't have a problem with it.
It
Okay, I don't
does
have a
go
problem
both
with it.
ways. Go ahead.
Exactly. It goes both ways. So here's what I want to do. Okay, here's what I want to do. Okay. If you want to look at my scholars, of course, I wouldn't quote anyone that just has an Islamic PhD like Sabah Mahmoud. Okay, she thinks that Islam can be updated. Obviously, she's not a scholar for you, right? She's not exactly. She thinks that there are certain problems that you can sort of mix feminism and Islam together. You wouldn't call her a scholar, would you? Right?
I don't
and
know
you
who it
don't
is,
know who
so-
that is. That's my point. So my point, though, is I wouldn't take unknown people that aren't authorities upon me. You know the kind of Christian that I am. I'm an Orthodox Christian, right? So who are my authorities, Uthman? Do you know?
I'll let you speak and tell us.
I'm not
I
gonna
know
tell-
the Orthodox Church, but I
Okay,
don't know you personally.
But I'm not going to, because you're a man. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
that's
tell
the
you
real
things
reason.
you already know.
That's the real
So-
reason why Sig didn't come on the stream. The real reason Sig didn't come on the stream, he didn't want to be associated with the anti-ortho bro. I'm just joking.
Do you know it or not?
The Orthodox Church takes
The authorities. Who are my authorities?
the Orthodox Church.
Okay, and in the Orthodox Church, who are the authorities?
You tell me.
Do you know it?
I don't.
Okay, thank you. You don't know this.
I
So,
don't.
here's what I want to do. The authorities are the church fathers, the fathers of the church. If you could look at those scholars, could you show me any of those church fathers that said Jesus didn't say that?
That you're done? Okay. First thing, I don't know your church fathers.
I know you
and
don't.
Again, please don't.
Sorry,
please
that
don't.
was. I
Yeah.
apologize.
It's
Continue.
all right. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Your church fathers can hold any view they like. But these are not church fathers. These are people from cross denominations who came together looking at manuscripts. So if your manuscripts don't have them, then for you to just say, well, if my church father said it's there, it's there. This is taqlid. Then there's no discussion.
It didn't say that, no.
Again.
I do want to pick on that point. If that's all right. Sorry.
I mean, if you
Hold, write it down.
write it down.
Write it down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Write it down.
Continue.
We're gonna come back
So-
to
I
it
don't need a
because
pen,
you
that's fine.
you he didn't interrupt you. Let's give
mean,
him.
he did. This
He
is why I
did, but he
interrupted you.
didn't. He did, but he didn't.
So he did.
Okay, you're trying to interrupt to tack on something. Okay, let's
All right,
get through the
continue.
thought.
When you have verses that were not in original context, they were not in original Bibles, that were written in sometime 7th century, 10 or 12 centuries later, you can say my church fathers accept them. That's up to you. But biblically, those are additions.
What?
And again, I can definitely sit with you offline. We can go over early manuscripts and you can go through them to understand from a manuscript perspective what that means. Not a theological perspective that
Okay.
you have made taqlid or blind following of your church
I don't
fathers.
know Arabic, so I'm not going to do it. So here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm actually going to address the claim because I think you finished. There's no other things you're going to say. It's fine.
I did have something to say, but that's
Please
okay.
continue what you
I'll,
were
I'll
saying.
let you finish.
I thought that was a pause too. 'cause
Right.
You looked at me.
So here's the thing that I want to say, okay?
ahead.
Number one, when we talk about biblical data, we want to talk about the earliest manuscripts. Those church fathers used earlier Christian manuscripts. So when they quote that verse, they're using manuscripts that aren't even extant to us today. They're using earlier manuscripts. For example, St. Jerome, when he was making his translation of the Bible, when he was making the Bible for the Pope and things like this, he says for himself, I'm using the ancient manuscripts. That means that those manuscripts that Jerome was using weren't ancient for us. They were ancient for him. So he had access to data that even we might not have access to. And if he had it in his one, and if other Christian fathers of the church, for example, St. Augustine, who used Jerome's translations as well, if he had it in his one, that would mean it was there. Now, here's the thing that I want to get at to. You said,
point.
I addressed this point. It's okay
Can
if I want to build.
Can I address on that?
You want to address Jerome?
I do want to address that point.
Okay, so my point, just to reiterate so that you can actually address this thing, does Jerome say it's not in there?
That's not what I want to address. So
what are you gonna address?
Can I speak and then I can address?
Go ahead, man.
So the first thing is for you to say there was a manuscript that is not existent today, right? So that means we don't have those manuscripts today.
Yeah.
Then that doesn't prove it existed.
What?
If there were references people made, it could be referenced from their own. Theologically, people added to the references, and you can find that in 1 John 5:7 very easily.
This guy, it's like his favorite. Yeah.
I think we should make it a rule. Anytime Uthman points to a footnote, let's read what he read.
Yeah, that should
Because-
that should be a requirement. Yeah, for future reference, guys. Anyone who's debating Sheikh Uthman in any situation, and he says, "Let me read you the note. Let me read you the footnote." Say, "Okay, everyone, stop. Pull up the footnote. We all need to read this for ourselves because we don't see you ever get it right. You always misrepresent it and twist it." So
Yeah, because Stig is arguing as if it is what he said, which it wasn't.
Yeah. At the time, he doesn't. But yeah, you know what? That would have been the perfect thing. Just like, okay, let's just read exactly what your footnote
Yeah,
says.
let's read it word for word.
Yeah. Because even when he was reading it, I wasn't familiar with the variant either. Actually, so when he was reading
Yeah, I
it,
was like, what's he talking about?
Yeah, he's reading it. I'm like, I don't hear the word Almighty or all powerful in dispute. So I looked it up. And I saw, and this is actually what Sig was referencing. He messaged and he said like the link wasn't working, but he said check out the description. That there's a fact check there, which is exactly
What
to the point that we're talking about right now.
yeah.
They actually did fact check in the description, not on the video.
I think he takes advantage of the fact that people are hot in the debate and they don't think that he will misread something on purpose, and they will just take his word for it, that's what it says.
I think it's his first time reading it. Uthman's first time reading it too, so I don't even know if he understood it either.
No, I'm sure he read it and then in real time corrupted the footnote
okay.
to make it say and assume that people won't check because of the adrenaline of the debate.
yeah, no, that's
So
pretty standard. That's pretty standard with Dawa guys. They're happy to completely misrepresent something to win in the moment, even and they don't care if they get exposed later on it because their fans don't care. Their fans don't care. It's the Dawa fans understand that lying is just part of Dawa, so they don't have a problem with it. But for people who do, they'll trust Sheikh Uthman less after that and be less inclined to believe anything he says. But so pretty much anyone would kind of fall for that in the moment. Knowing who we're dealing with, if this guy quotes a note, guys say, I want to read that. Let me see that. Let me see that right now. Hand that over to me so I can read it for everyone, and we'll make sure it says what you're claiming it says.
That's why Jerome said the church father said it was there. Because
Yeah.
it's always been there.
Yeah.
It's just Sheikh Uthman in the moment that corrupted it.
Yeah. Actually, that would have been great if I would have been happy if the moderator did that. Hey, why don't we just read the footnote together? And she
I
just
know.
stopped and
You should have just done that, moderator.
that would
Matter
have
of
been
fact,
great.
that should be a requirement for setting up Sheikh Uthman debates. It's in the
Yeah.
contract. If Sheikh Uthman quotes any note for any reason, the debate will be paused so that it can be put on the screen and everyone can read it for themselves, because the man has a problem representing things accurately.
Oh yeah, someone just pointed this out as well. We're past it now, but as soon as he read it, he shut it right away.
Oh.
Like he read it and then he closed it like immediately. Someone just pointed out that I
Yeah.
guess Rob Christian pointed that out as well, and that's true. He did do that. He just immediately shut it when he was done reading
And
it.
let's go to 1 John 5:7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly.
So the question is, was he misreading it accidentally but trying to be sincere, or was he deliberately misrepresenting it? The fact that he slammed it closed meant, oh yeah, it's we've moved past that now. There's no looking at that anymore. All right.
Plus, he's got like a history. He's got like a track record as
we know
well.
he does that.
Like when Sig caught the Bruce Almighty reference, that's like the equivalent of Uthman's quoting a hadith that you actually know about, and he's lying about it because he lied about the movie. And he was trying to mislead on the movie. Like
He assumed people didn't watch it.
exactly. So that's like the equivalent of like knowing a hadith that he's quoting. He's like, it's like weak or disputed, or it's not saying what he claims it says, and you like call him out on the spot. Like that was a beautiful moment with the Bruce Almighty thing, but that's what he does with religious stuff as well, like texts and things.
Weird how that's fine in Dawah.
I think what's really strange too that I've noticed with a lot of these da'is is that they don't really know Christianity like at all. Like they don't understand the theology, they don't understand the systems, and I don't think they really have a mastery of the text. I think what they do, and this is my opinion, is that it's kind of like a person who is might be overwhelmed in school, and what they do is they do like kind of a quick reading of the text, like they para-read it, and they're like, okay, I'm going to read this word, this word, this word, and then I'm going to try to find words that fit my agenda, but I'm not actually going to look at a full kind of conceptual narrative of what's going on here. And then it's like, you have to, like, say you're like in a college class and you have to say something in class. So you're like, okay, I'm going to read this one section because this is going to help me make an argument, but I don't really have a mastery of the text. That's what I feel with many of these da'is. I don't think they actually have a mastery over these texts. And they probably haven't even read the text completely through and, read exegesis. I don't think that they've done the work. And that's why it's very hard when they go against someone like a God Logic, because you can tell that he's someone who's actually really read the literature. He's read exegesis. He's done all of these things. And it's kind of like they're very ill prepared. And I feel looking at him here, he doesn't really know what he's talking about. And I think that hurts the argument he's presenting.
Certainly doesn't help. Here we go.
This
the
is
one
again.
that Saint Cyprian of Carthage quotes as well.
Can I
Hold on,
finish?
hold on.
Can I finish? If
Please
you
go
don't mind, that was a clear interruption.
Sometimes it's
so-
better if you just keep talking, and then I can stop
Okay.
them while you
Oh.
keep talking.
I'm not ever
So,
going to
Then
again-
derail.
I
He
see
just
the
never
derailment.
stops talking.
We'll come back to it, let
So
him-
here, for example, in 1 John 5:7,
Yeah.
you will find the Heavenly Father, the Word, and the Holy Spirit. These were infamous additions from later generations, evidence both external and internal.
This is called off topic. Now he wants to change the topic to textual variants and so on in order to deviate from the fact that he just got burned up because the Bible calls Jesus the Almighty. Jesus calls himself the Almighty.
Show that they are.
He did the
against their
same thing.
authenticity.
He did the same thing to Belle later on. He does the same thing to Belle. She makes this case and saying, like, basically her prompt, it was about, is Muhammad's name in the Bible? And I did see that one because I watched. She did like a review of it, so I watched the review of it. And basically, in that one, she was proving or making a case that Muhammad, the Muhammad of Islam, at least, because she's like, anyone could be named Muhammad. So if you just find the name Muhammad, you still have to prove it's the Muhammad of Islam, right? And she was trying to make a case that Muhammad is not even an Ishmaelite based on the Bible, but he kept going back to this argument. Oh, well, the Bible is not actually like preserved, but his prompt was Muhammad is in the Bible. So he always seems to do this, like he's arguing two different points. So if you're arguing right now, does the Bible teach that Jesus is Almighty God or not? Does the Bible teach that or not? And Sig is clearly showing he is God. He is God. He's Almighty, the Almighty. And he's saying, well, it's actually corrupt. The Bible's actually corrupt. It's like, well, that's a separate topic. It's a separate topic. And he did the same thing to Bell, and I'm sure he did to others as well that we just haven't seen yet.
If the Bible is corrupt, what's the point of if Jesus said he's almighty in it or not?
Right.
Then that shouldn't even be an issue. Then if he's corrupt, we shouldn't even be discussing what Jesus said in it. We should just be throwing the whole thing out.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to discuss what's in it, then you should put the corruption thing to the side for a second.
Yeah.
The reading is not found except in late 10th century MSS manuscripts. These range from 10th to 18th century. The oldest manuscripts do not contain these before the 14th century. We do not find this documented. Thus, it is sure evidence the reading in Greek is a fabrication to prove the Trinitarian formula. So what does that mean? That means that yes, later and Sermus probably altered the text because of political, theological, economic.
He's trying to say Erasmus. He said, what did he just say? Sermus?
Arsemus,
It's Erasmus.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Erasmus.
In a cross-denominational Bible study that is telling you that these additions were made into the Bible. So if they're not in the manuscripts that you have, you cannot say just because a church father quoted it, it existed.
I'm sorry. So if the church father quoted it, then they're quoting.
Yeah, I have to point out, contra Sheikh Uthman here, going with, and I mean, Jerome might be about to say this, but the reason that there's a serious issue with 1 John 5:7 is that it's an extremely late reading, right? It's not anywhere in the early manuscripts and so on. But going with what Jerome's saying, the reading, I mean, one, Sheikh Uthman's already wrong, but you certainly wouldn't have that issue with Revelation 1:8 because he's quoting church fathers who are saying we've already known this for a long time, which means it's not some 10th century, 13th century, 14th century reading. This is very, very, very ancient. And that's even if you're not paying attention to Sheikh Uthman's complete misrepresentation of the footnote. Even if you went with what he said and it was saying that, this is still a very ancient reading, not something that came along 10 centuries later or something.
Something that exists. You understand how a quotation works. If you quote, for example, that book, does that book exist, Uthman? Just as yes or no. If you quote that book that's right there in front of us that we can all see, does that book exist?
Again, your paradigm is incorrect.
It's a yes or no.
That is a yes or no.
That's an easy yes or no.
That's basic.
Yes, because you're saying it's right there in front of us. You quantified that.
No, if
no, again, let me finish now.
Hold on.
I said yes.
Allow me to translate here.
Please.
What you're saying is the church fathers are quoting something. You're even telling him your church fathers are quoting something, correct?
So that means the thing they're quoting
so that
exists.
means what are we quoting? That has to cite from something. Something has to exist in order for me to quote from.
Right.
It does not.
Right.
Because
and that's why
how?
he's asking.
How can you quote a non-existent
I'm not done yet,
thing?
gentlemen, and that's why he's asking you. You are quoting.
It's
from
my
this
debate
book
now.
right here. You're citing it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if that book, if I threw it out the door and it's not with us here, does that still mean that you can still quote that book? Yes.
Excellent question. So let me respond to that. Now, when a church father quotes something, unless we can review that and check it, we don't know if it actually existed or if he was adding something of his own. As things have been added to the Bible, and I've proven it from a biblical study. Now, if I have a book here, if I have a book here and I'm quoting it, that's one thing. If I come to you right now and said, I read in a book this and this and this, you are perfectly in your presence to say, can you bring me or show me that
I'll
book?
give you an example.
Because I don't know what you are quoting to be authentic or not. Can I finish speaking, son? So,
son,
what a whiner.
Son.
Wow.
How old
Did you call him son?
Why do I have to tell you my age?
So if I call you son, don't get upset.
Let's not go personal.
All right?
Yeah, it's an upsetting thing. It's
now,
like if I called you
if
by
you
short
come
name.
here
wait a
and
minute, hold on a
quote
second,
book to me,
What's up?
In his debate with Avery, he was saying that in Islam, you know these terms like son and father and things like this, like he said you can only ever understand them in Islam in the Arabic, the magical Arabic of the Quran, as being biological terms, not metaphors, which we've completely debunked. We've showed multiple examples of the Quran using familial terms like someone's mother, someone's a son, or a mother, like we talk about al-Kitab, the mother of the book. So that's completely wrong. But that was his point. He was saying that doesn't work in Arabic. He just says, I'm assuming this is after Avery. I don't know if this might have been before Avery, actually. Like in real time, it would have been before Avery. But he's calling him son right now. Obviously, he doesn't mean that's his biological son. He's using it in a colloquial sense. So now all of a sudden he knows that sun can be used in more than one sense. It doesn't have to denote biology. But he conveniently forgot that point when he's talking to Avery.
Yes.
For me to say, can you show me that book?
I can show you
is
Cyprian
perfectly
quoting it.
acceptable. And if you don't have that original book, then I can definitely lay doubt to its authenticity, as has been done by Christian scholars right here.
So
Are
the
we-
Christian scholars that had, so this is the thing that I want to talk about, okay?
Okay.
Because you're doing this thing where you are mentioning random academics that I don't necessarily care about. Those particular Christians, they are academics specifically. Do they call themselves authorities on the subject? Those people that you want to quote, do they say, I'm an authority of the subject? And if they say that, I would even grant that. Does the church at large, do the Christian community at large that analyze these texts say they are authorities to make this claim? Just a yes or no.
Well,
That's what I want.
you brought up the authenticity.
Yes,
He's
so-
dismantling it. I think that's fair.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Yes. And I will read the quote from them, which is from the print house here, that 1995, multiple denominational team of more than 25 of the world's foremost biblical scholars.
What does a scholar mean? Does a scholar mean an
Foremost
authority?
Biblical
A scholar
scholars
doesn't mean an authority.
gathered around a shared version and the vision of creating a biblical text that is checked against manuscripts and so on.
Okay,
so now,
Uthman, they
now
didn't
can I
use
finish
church fathers.
speaking? Now
I
you're
would like to-
interrupting me.
like to pull
You
that.
are
Let's do this.
interrupting
Can we
me.
My goodness.
Now, when you-
Wow, this
stop.
is
I want
incredible.
to ask a question. Can we define what a scholar is? Because
What's a
I
scholar?
think to say a scholar versus
What-
an
what's a
authority
debate?
are two very different things.
Yeah, what's a scholar, Uthman?
What's
I
the
think
debate?
it's, again,
What
a
is it?
A scholar, and it's not necessarily my definition, but the definition that is taken is somebody who studies and is an authority in that text.
When did they tell you
Now,
that?
this is what they mentioned, that they were scholars. Now,
No, it doesn't say that they're
I did not
authorities.
say they were authorities.
You
I
did.
read.
You
Oh
literally
my
did.
God.
Did he not?
Can
Actually,
I-
you know
can
what?
I
I'm
finish
appealing to a
speaking?
third party.
Can I finish
Moderator,
speaking?
did he not say they're authorities? He said,
The-
yes,
the
and I'll
en-
quote their
the
book.
entirety of the authority has been subject to this conversation.
Thank
That's
you.
why
Okay.
quite frankly, I don't want to get into the deep dive semantics of whether this is an authority of the Bible or
Exactly.
not.
They're
Hold
not.
on, stop. But if that's the case, we're going to take it back to your initial piece of
Appreciate
the red
you.
line,
Yep.
red line wording, because that's how we veered off. This
Exactly.
is the derailment.
100%.
So here's the
No.
problem that we have. So just to round off that, because he gave a lot of words, and I need to
just
make
wanna-
sure.
I just wanna
I
comment
say
on
a
this
lot
because
of
I think
words
that-
because
I think that they loop for a little bit on this, but I just want to say that, and someone in the comments even pointed this out as well. But this is a point that I think it's worth bringing up, is that you can bring up tons of academics and Islamic scholars. That doesn't mean that they're Muslims, but they're scholars of Islam, and they say things like all the time, like there's interpolations in the Quran, for example. They'll say like there's been additions of the Quran, interpolations in the Quran. These are scholars. Now, they're not authoritative for Uthman, so suddenly he can see the difference between authority and a scholar. Now, of course, this rests upon like Uthman representing the scholars correctly here, which he's not. But even if it were the case that they were disputing the particular Almighty reading, Sig or could say, well, hey, you know what? I think for other reasons, just because the scholar says something, I didn't have to accept it. I have other reasons to accept this as an authoritative reading in terms of like, we have good reason to believe that this is what the Holy Spirit originally inspired John to write, and he might have great reasons for that, which he gave like the church fathers quoting it and things like that. But this kind of like kind of goes on for a little bit, but I just want to say like this wouldn't work on the Muslim side at all. We can quote scholars day after day. Even Muslim scholars we can quote, and they'll disagree with the Muslim scholars.
I know what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's pulling on the Muslim brainwashing of we can't trust the Bible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because he knows he lost the almighty point. So now what do? We cast doubt on the whole book. Things were added, he says. How can we trust Church Father when we can't examine what he quoted? First John 5:7, things were added. So even if Muslims think, oh wait, Almighty, it does say Jesus is Almighty in the Bible, he switches them demonically to their let's go to textual criticism to cast doubt about the whole book.
Mm-hmm.
Now you notice we're not talking about Almighty anymore, whether it's there or not. Now we're away from the prompt that the prompt didn't talk about corruption of Bible. The prompt is about, does the Bible say this?
Right.
If he had stuck to it, he would have lost the Muslims. That's what he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so got kind of two issues here. One, Sheikh Uthman going, go with the scholars, and Jerome saying, well, I'm going with the church fathers, and they're definitely aware of this. So there's one, like, pointing to a scholar, a group of scholars, do you have to regard that as authoritative for you? Beyond that, it's all complete nonsense because it's not even what the footnote said. It's not even what the footnote said. But yeah, if you wanted to lay that down, I quoted some scholars, therefore you have to regard them as authoritative. Sheikh Uthman would never grant that because we can quote scholars all day long, Muslim scholars that he would completely reject and say, I don't care what these guys say. They're wrong. And apart from that, if you're actually going with other scholars, my goodness, I mean, it's taken for granted at the scholarly level that in Surah 18 is talking about Alexander the Great.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to the early Muslim scholars, they talked about it, but at the scholarly level now, the people who are experts on the Syriac Alexander, they take it for granted. So would Sheikh Uthman say, well, these guys are the authorities on the issue? No, he just wouldn't. He'd just say he doesn't believe in it. And we quote the early Muslim scholars who said that it's about Alexander. He'd reject them. So anyways, just pure hypocrisy. And just this game right now, you could pick any any important Quran verse, go to it and go to the commentary and get 18 different interpretations of what it means.
Seriously?
Just imagine if you said, hey, this scholar says you're wrong. And you have to say, therefore that scholar is authoritative on that issue and I'm wrong. Well, that means you can't hold any position. Because any position you hold, you can show other scholars who say you're wrong, and therefore there's just nothing there. That's weird. That's weird stuff.
But if we zoom out, does any scholar ever say that Bible says that Jesus is not God?
Right. Yeah. Or dispute this reading in
Because
Revelation.
the whole thing about Almighty and all that is that does the Bible say Jesus is God? Does any scholar who ever examined Bible or biblical manuscripts come to the conclusion that Jesus is not God from these manuscripts?
Yeah. So this would be like, okay, Uthman. So are you saying that Revelation 1:8, if this reading, the Almighty the Almighty is authentic here, that you're saying that would mean the Bible teaches that Jesus is God? Is that what you're saying? That would be a good question to ask him, right? Because you kind of setting a standard, because it seems like what he was saying, he was trying to wiggle out of it before. He was trying to say, well, even if he does say he's the Almighty, it doesn't mean that he's God. Then they kind of got past that. And so it's like, so if it does say that, can you?
The answer is always no about if Jesus is God or not. Even if he said it, even if Jesus came in front of him and said it, he will say, maybe it means something else.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to say Jesus is God.
Yeah, exactly. But to the point that you were making about all the different opinions, we were reading a text the other day, and it mentioned the different names of Allah, and we got to the word a summit, and I just didn't translate it because you go to the commentaries. There's 28, I think, different meanings for that one word. So there's not one translation I could have given it and done justice to all 28 meanings. But imagine just one word with 28 different meanings. But you could say, hey, a scholar said this, or a companion said this, or a scholar said this, or a companion said that. And if a scholar equals authority in every instance, then you don't have no chance, no clue.
You have 18 different religions.
Yeah, and I mean, think about Sheikh Uthman on something like Muhammad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this means that it's the authority over. Okay, well, all your scholars disagree. Well, who cares?
Right.
They're all wrong. Weird. Yeah. When it's relevant, when it's convenient, or when it helps you lie. That's when you appeal to scholars, according to Sheikh Uthman. All right, here we go.
I have a lot to say. You say a lot of words because you have to say something, but we need to make sure that we're keeping to the substance.
Oh, that
Here's
was
what I
actually
want
funny.
to say.
Go back a little bit.
Because
He's funny. There we go. Backed up some.
Piece of
Appreciate
the red
you.
line,
Yep.
red line worried, because that's how we veered off. This
Exactly.
is the derailment.
100%.
So here's the problem that we have. So just to round off that, because he gave a lot of words, and I need to make sure. I say a lot of words because I have a lot to say. You say a lot of words because you have to say something. But we need to make sure that we're keeping to the substance. Here's what I want to say. Absolutely. Because you quoted people that you couldn't prove are authorities. You just said that they're scholars. A scholar is just a person that learns. It's a person that's learned. It's a person that went to university to study. For example, I went to university. Am I a scholar? No. Obviously not, right? It takes much more time. It takes much more things to be doing things. And even if I got to that level, that wouldn't make me an authority on the subject unless the community that I administer to says that I am. Nobody said that they were. You picked 25 random people that nobody cares about and said that those people are authoritative as to what the Bible's supposed to say. And then I give you actual authorities of the church, people who oversaw massive communities of millions of people. And those people quoted those extant texts and you said, I don't really care. That's fine. To get back to the red letter, which is actually included for those people in there, and the reason they include it is because it is in other versions as well, in other manuscripts as well, and it's in all the early patriotic citations, for example, in the 200s AD as well, which you know of, or maybe you don't, which is fine. It says that Jesus says Almighty. So let's get back to the actual substance. Jesus says, I'm the Almighty in Revelation, because you were quoting red letter, not me. In your red letter, he says that he's Almighty. What does he mean by that?
Excellent. So going back to your point, first thing you said, authority. Is there a consensus amongst Christians?
Was that not the last thing?
No, that's not going to. I'm not going to
Is
just
that not
jump
the
off
last
of
thing?
it.
You said it was the last thing, and then we're going to go back to
I
I
don't
have
want
to
to
be able
derail
to
back
refute-
onto the credit, but
No.
we either accept the writing as it is or we don't. Because
Accept
if
the
we're
writing
going
as
to
it is.
quote it,
Again.
if we're going to use it, we accept it or we don't.
So
If not, are you
You'd love to take my
rejecting-
Bible away.
You're
yeah.
chopping
Hold on.
You're chopping up
Stop.
words.
Are we rejecting it in its entirety because it's not an authority, or are we accepting it for the purposes of the conversation?
Again, what I'm saying is, when he says, what is an
He's not gonna
authority,
answer your
can
question.
you not interrupt me,
I'm
please?
talking to her.
I'm handling it.
She's
Thank
handling
you.
it. When you're saying an authority, the first thing I would like to say that he's making the church fathers and his Orthodox church as the authority, his church leadership. That's not a consensus even amongst Christians. Many Christians sitting here are not Orthodox. They would not take the Orthodox church as an authority. Many Christians.
This is just like stupid. Like, I'm not Orthodox, but if church fathers are quoting the text, it obviously existed, which is
Right.
the point. It's there. You can't say it was made 10 centuries later, 15 centuries later, whatever, if the early Christian church fathers are quoting it. It wouldn't matter. I mean, it wouldn't matter. It could be someone. It could be a bunch of heretical people. If a bunch of people are quoting something that's there, then it's there, right? So anyway, this is crazy.
I've never heard a Christian say, the church father says something, I don't trust him. Never have I heard that. And we don't think they're liars. If they're saying that they're quoting the Bible, they're quoting the Bible. And then the Bible existed at their time.
Yeah, like how crazy would that be? Is like, okay, we're quoting something, and then this thing, Uthman is saying it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the Bible, but
Or it's something else.
where are they quoting this from? Where are they getting this from? And then he's suggesting that someone made a manuscript later on that like reads back in what they're saying or something like that. Like, that's not how it works. That's not
Yeah.
how it works.
But if you're a Dawa fan, you're like, oh, great point, Sheikh Uthman, even though it's stupid.
Wow.
Would not
That's what he
take
did.
even the church fathers as
No,
an
he did.
ultimate authority. I have debated Christians who say we go solely by what is proven from the biblical manuscripts, not by the writings of men. Catholics, for example, would have their own chain of authority that would go to popes. So for him to
What?
say
You
that
don't know
I'm not
anything
going to
about
go
the
to,
Catholics. Don't mention
can I
the
can I
Catholics,
can I finish
Just
speaking
let him-
without
just
being
let him
interrupted?
finish, please.
Wow.
He's
So I'm not taking 25 random people.
Yes,
These
you
are
are.
cross-denominational scholars of the Christian.
Just to recap, everyone, he's continuing to quote scholars who say, and he pretended that they said the word Almighty is not in the text, which was complete nonsense. They were talking about a different textual variant. He acted like the Almighty is not in the earliest manuscripts. He's completely wrong. Jerome is pointing out that our early Christian church fathers are quoting it with Almighty, so you can't say this is just some invented somehow later. And Sheikh Uthman is, nope, if the scholars say it's invented, you have to, then the church fathers are in doubt. And guess what? It's made up. It's made up. He made it up while reading the text. So that's where we're 18 minutes into this back and forth, and it's all based on Sheikh Uthman making something up.
Faith,
Yeah.
who have studied it way more than me and you put together. So don't tell me you're just
Well, to be fair, anyone who's studied it more than Sheikh Uthman.
taking random people. As far as authority and scholar goes, this is something that's going to be up for debate amongst your Christian people as well.
Okay.
Who's going to take what's in authority? But if you're quoting to me verses that clearly were not in early manuscripts that were added, then I'm not going to.
Lie.
Now the verse isn't in the earliest manuscript. So now scholars are saying that the verse isn't in the earliest manuscript. This, guys, again, the rule for all future interactions with Sheikh Uthman: if this guy quotes anything, say, I want to see it now because I do not trust you. You are a compulsive, chronic liar. We cannot trust you.
credit them as authentic.
Okay, church father texts do count as manuscript citations and manuscript data. So if I show you a church father,
Are you
which
saying
is
there's consensus
data,
on that amongst the Christian faith?
So academics,
Academic.
who we're talking about, because those people are academics, and you couldn't tell me one of their names.
You're saying
Now
that
you're
church.
And again, he still doesn't understand here. You can say, I don't take everything this church father says as authoritative or something like that. That's different from saying that church father is evidence of what's in the text of the Bible, right? Anyone would agree if a church father is quoting the Bible, that's evidence that the text is there. This is just disastrous, man. Sheikh Uthman.
But it's fine. It's
but
okay.
yeah.
In fact, in fact, sometimes Daniel Wallace will say, like, there's, and many other textual critical scholars will say as well, that you can like reconstruct the entirety of the Bible. I think like minus like what is it, 5 verses or something like that, like 6 verses, based on church father quotations. Yeah. So of course you can do that. Yeah.
So now he pretends that the verse with the Almighty didn't exist.
Now.
In
It's
the
gone.
earliest manuscripts. It was added later. That's why he wants
the lie is growing. The lie is growing. Now the scholars say the verse isn't there, guys.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to understand as well, and apparently I was
ahead.
rejected. So here's the thing. We already have demonstrated an early Christian source. I can give you an early Christian source, earlier than all of those manuscripts, where they say it, and they have no reason to lie about it, and they have no other political motive. You couldn't show me a shred of political motives that Saint Cyprian of Carthage had. By the way, every single person on this panel, although they might not be Orthodox, they would say that the Church Fathers are an authoritative source. They may not have that. They might not say that they are the ultimate infallible source. Neither do I. I'm Orthodox. I don't think all Church Fathers.
Yeah. He made an important distinction there. They would say that they're not infallible sources on doctrine and stuff, because you can disagree with a church father. As far as an authoritative source on what's in the Bible, absolutely they are authoritative sources on what's in the Bible. Oh my goodness.
Are infallible. What I do believe, though, is that when the church fathers say something, they are an authority on the subject. Authority means that they combine the conscience to believe certain things depending. But you can't do that. You then try to quote the Catholics. Every single Catholic is going to watch this video is going to be like, wait, no, we do take the church fathers. What are you talking about? You don't know these kinds of things, so stop. Number 2, though, here's what we need to do to actually get to the red letter, please, because my jaw's getting unhinged. Here's what I need to do. When it comes... Wait. But here's the thing. So
I mean, he's making a bunch of points, and then he wants to jump.
No,
from
I made
them,
one point.
You made more than one point. I'm counting.
I'm going to say this.
I got a pen.
I'm
Because
over
he's
the
got-
authority
Thank
portion
you.
of
So
this.
here's what I'll do. I think it's very clear that Jesus Christ in Revelation said Almighty, and the reason he doesn't want to do it is because he knows if Jesus says that, it would mean that he's claiming it, because he said I was claiming it. He said Bruce was claiming it, and he said Sarah was claiming it. So here's the thing that I want to do. Do you think, and I want to ask you, because we know that the author of the Gospel of John, for example, says that Jesus Christ and God the Father are equal. You agree, right?
Does not.
Okay,
Or
do you want to
one.
go to John chapter 5? The author of the Gospel of John believes that Jesus and the Father are equal. You said that you don't think that, right?
All right, let's read it.
It's making himself equal with God.
You said that you don't think that, right?
I do not believe that they're equal. Go ahead.
Okay, no. Do you think that in
Can
John...
you read the verse?
I need to clarify questions.
He's just trying to set up a... And again, there's 3
not
points
set-
that I need to
let
address.
him
Let him
the
get,
crazy
hold on,
thing
stop.
is-
Let him get to
John 5.
John 5. Yeah, let him get
Okay,
to that
so
first.
here's the thing that... Okay, Uthman, when we have conversations
5,
with
go ahead.
people, I don't want to attack a point that you're not interested in. We are both interested in whether or not the author of this Gospel, St. John, he says...
Can you
Whether
quote the
the
verse?
author... I'm still finishing my point, please. If you want interruptions, it's fine. I don't care.
No interruption.
Okay.
Stop. Let's
I don't want to do that.
pan through to... Are you at John 5?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what verse, though? That's what I was
John
asking.
5. Was it
Yeah,
19 on
So-
there in your thing?
Yeah, so what I
You
want to
didn't mention
do...
the verse, that's why I asked.
Okay, that's fine. I want to go to John chapter 5, verse 18. I just want to establish quickly
Verse
that at least the author,
18?
verse 18, that the author of this gospel does believe that Jesus and the Father are equal. Now, obviously, if you're equal to the Almighty God, you would be Almighty as well. A not almighty thing can't be equal to an almighty thing.
Can I read the verse?
Please do.
Yeah,
Verse
Good point. A not almighty thing can't be equal to an almighty thing.
18. Go ahead.
What do you want me to verse? So therefore the Jews sought all the more to kill him
Yep.
because he not only broke the Sabbath, but
Yes, sir.
also that it said that the God was his father, making himself equal to God. Then Jesus answered to them.
Just verse 18 is fine.
Can I finish reading? Do
No,
you
'cause I
mind?
just
Or
wanted
do
you to
I
read
need
Oh,
verse
was it
18.
done? Was that
No,
it?
Yeah,
I'm-
because I
I'm-
asked him to read one verse, correct?
I'm not done reading. I can read any verse I like.
Well,
How's he
you
gonna-
read
is
the
he gonna
verse that I've
restrict?
asked you
No,
to.
no,
You read the
no,
verse
no,
that I've
no,
asked you
because
to.
you're caught.
You're caught because he's like, I want to read the entire gospel.
Yeah, we know
what are you going to do about
Because he
it?
wants to get to the next verse, which
Yeah.
are Muslims' favorite.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
can't do anything on his own initiative.
Yeah, but
Only what he
even
sees
then
of
you have
God.
to keep reading. So it's like
Yeah,
either read the
the very
verse, but if you
end.
want to continue, then you got to
Yeah.
keep reading the entire passage because this, guys, this is the passage where Jesus says that he's the final judge, that he's the one who raises the dead at the resurrection, and so on. But the accusation, if you want to understand the passage, Jesus is calling himself the Son of God. And this gets interpreted as he's claiming to be an additional God. And so he's pointing out that he doesn't do anything on his own, that he's one. That's the point of the passage. He's one. He's not some separate God. God didn't have an offspring called the Son of God who can now go around doing what he wants. So from the perspective of Christian theology, Jesus, to someone if someone's misunderstanding his claims, what he would want to show is, one, yes, he is claiming to be the divine Son of God, but he's not claiming to be a separate God because there's only one God. And that's exactly what he does in the passage. Muslims zero in on, I can do nothing on my own, and say, oh, you see, he's helpless. That's not what he's saying. He's saying, I'm not doing something as some separate God. But let's see where they go with this.
The next part of the verse catches him. That's why he doesn't want me to read
wait,
it.
okay, you know what? Let's make an agreement.
Kryptonite in action.
Hold on.
Read
Let's
the whole verse.
Can
Read
I
the whole
read
verse or
one?
the whole passage?
No, look, I want to talk to the
As
moderator.
the moderator, can I read the verse?
He wants to keep reading. If he ever stops reading until verse 23, call him out on it, okay? You keep reading. Keep reading.
Whoa, good. Exactly, right? Because Sheikh Uthman would have read half of the next verse and then ignored everything else in the passage.
Yeah.
So
It's
keep
funny that he
reading.
says reading is the kryptonite when the irony. Like if he only read the footnote correctly, both footnotes, he would have been destroyed.
Let's see.
By the way, if there was no problem with John, the Gospel of John, or the Gospel generally, and Muslims would have no problem with me becoming a Christian then. Why was it a problem that I became a Christian if Jesus never said it in the Gospel and I believe in the Gospel? It's because they know exactly what it says.
Nope.
It says Jesus is God, and they don't like it.
So therefore the Jews sought all the more to kill him because he not only broke the Sabbath, but also said that God was his father, making himself equal to
with
God.
Okay.
Yeah, you catch that? So that's the author of the gospel saying, when you're calling yourself the Son of God, in this sense, you are claiming to be equal with God. But guess what? That leaves it open. That leaves an open interpretation. Are you claiming to be another God who's equal with God, or are you claiming to be the same God? Anyway.
Then Jesus answered to them and said, most assuredly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he sees the Father do.
Okay.
Oh, if he stops,
He
stops there,
he stops
there, you got to finish that verse, buddy. Let's see.
The Son
Continue.
can do nothing.
Finish it.
I'm
I
reading.
don't know.
Finish
I
it.
can't
Let
see
me
what
read.
verse he's at, so I
Let
can't
me
physically
read.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so guys, the Son can do nothing of himself, right?
Yeah.
But only what he sees the Father doing. Okay. If you just stop there, how are Muslims going to interpret it? Because notice that would be ambiguous, right? You have to finish the passage. See, is that Jesus saying, I can't do anything of myself. I'm just a helpless little prophet. Or is he saying, I don't do anything separate from God because I'm actually one, with the Father and Son are one? But we'll see.
Nothing of himself, but what he sees the Father.
Yeah.
Right?
Keep reading.
Let's continue.
Go on.
Okay.
Keep reading.
I'm reading.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Do
For
it.
whatever he does, the Son also does in a
Whatever God does, the Son also does?
Uh-oh.
What mere human prophet would ever say, whatever God does, I also do? This is who can say anything God does, I do that too? You're claiming to have the same nature and attributes as God, which would make you Almighty.
God.
But even the bit that they like, the verse that they like, the Son can do nothing of his own, but only what he sees the Father doing. But can I do the same thing as I see God doing?
Backfired on him.
Yeah, and notice even that Son, Father, and the Son clearly in a divine sense.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
What?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right, let's see.
Nothing
Keep
of
reading.
himself, but what he sees the Father.
Yeah.
Right? Let's continue.
Go on.
Okay.
Look, all of them are going.
Yeah.
Look at all the Christians in the background. They're all go on. They know it. They know it. They know what's coming.
For whatever he does, the Son also does in a like manner. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all things that
It gets better.
he himself does. And he will show him greater works than these. He will show him greater works than these,
don't have to repeat.
that you may marvel.
Yeah.
For as the Father raises the dead and gives life to them, then even the Son gives life to whom he wills. For the Father judges no one, but has committed all judgment to the Son.
Yes.
That all should honor the Son. As I'm reading. I'm reading.
Keep reading.
As
They
they
should go,
honor the
"Preach,
Father.
preach."
So that all guys, so that all may honor the Son just as they honor the Father. What mere human prophet would say, you have to honor me the same way you honor God? The only way you would honor someone as you honor God is if that person has the same nature and attributes as God. Other than that, you would never honor honor someone the same way you honor God. But that's exactly what he just read. Let me back up a couple seconds. I do like that he's in a room full of Christians reacting because it's hilarious.
But has committed all judgment to the Son.
Yes.
That all should honor the Son. As I'm reading. I'm reading.
Keep reading.
As they honor the Father. For who does not? Can we get rid of the laugh track?
Hold on, guys. Chill out.
Get rid of
He
the
who
laugh
does
track.
not honor the Son does not honor the Father whom he sent.
So here's the point that
All
I
right.
want to make,
Go ahead.
Uthman, okay?
Now,
So
And by the way, guys, the end said, whoever does not honor the Son, and it's saying honoring the Son in the same way you honor the Father. Remember the entire. Remember where Sig started here. He's called, verse 18. It said that by calling himself the Son, the way he's calling himself equal with God, right? Then Jesus has to clarify because some people are thinking he's claiming to be an additional God. So he's clarifying, no, I don't do anything separate from God. He's one with God, right? And so he shows that he has the same nature and attributes as the Father, but he's not separate from the Father. And he says that he's the one who raises the dead at the resurrection, that he's the one who is the final judge. And after he points out that if you don't honor him as you honor the Father, you're not honoring the Father. And the only way to make sense of this entire passage is if Jesus has the same nature and attributes as the Father, which would make him God and not some other God, because he's refuting the claim that he's some other God. So, Sheikh Uthman, you just got cooked. You know what's interesting to me, by the way? Sheikh Uthman clearly gets really annoyed that you have Christians reacting and laughing and cheering and stuff like that, when that's how he wants every debate to be, but on his side, right? He wants to be surrounded by a bunch of Dawah fans who cheer for everything he says.
Right.
He hates it when he's on the receiving end of that sort of thing.
Yeah, we know how he wants his clips too. He wants his clips to be like
He wants to pay someone $10,000 to get that effect. But this is my favorite part. I never thought I'd see the day that Uthman reads John 5.
Oh yeah.
Where Jesus, do you see the humiliation? You see the haqq and the hikmah of Jesus, the humiliation. Jesus made you come to Christians and read the part of scripture that makes him God in the clearest way, in my opinion.
Yeah.
One of the many. And he reads it all to the whole world and the Muslims watching.
That's what we should do. We should just clip him. We should Uthman proves Jesus is God and just
And
clip
just
him.
make him
Yeah.
read the passage and nothing else.
No, that would be an awesome video. Sheikh Uthman proves Jesus is God. And, Christians cheer as that'd be the thumbnail. Christians cheer.
get rid of the laugh track.
Hold on, guys. Chill out.
For he who does not honor the Son does not honor the Father whom he sent.
So here's the point that
All
I
right.
want to make,
Go ahead.
Uthman, okay?
Now,
So
can
you
I
wanted to
answer
do your
the
reading.
question,
No,
or-
you did the
Okay, I
quotation.
thought you had a
going through-
question.
Here's my
Okay.
question to you. How do you honor God?
You honor God by respecting his laws?
What's
And by worshiping him,
Worship.
Declaring his God.
by worshiping him,
Acknowledging that he's the Almighty.
Praying to him.
not constantly lying about him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Many ways.
the highest way?
Again,
Oh,
for
let me back
as a
this up.
Muslim,
Let me back this up because, yeah, he's saying, how do you honor God? He's, by following his laws. What's the highest?
You're
way?
reading.
question,
No,
or-
you did the
Okay, I
quotation.
thought you had a
going
question.
through- Here's my question to you. How do you
Yeah, so he wants Sheikh Uthman to say the highest way you honor God is by worshiping him, because then if you have to honor the Son the same way you honor the Father, you have to honor him by worshiping him.
Do you see the deception? Oh, by following his laws, he
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
Because you can follow the laws that Jesus brought. He doesn't want to say worship.
Yeah.
honor God?
you honor God by respecting his laws.
What's the highest way you can honor God?
Many ways.
What's the highest way?
Again, for me as a Muslim, submitting myself to the will of my Creator.
There's a word beginning with W. Don't you think?
Worship is one way for sure.
Is that the highest way?
Sure, why not? Let's take worship.
Why not? Let's
Okay,
take worship.
let's
Okay,
take
I
it.
think the highest
Okay,
form of
got it.
veneration for God is worship as well. So if I say honor, I don't know, if I say honor me the same way that you would honor the king, I'm saying that the whatever respect you would give to the king, give it to me, right?
Sure.
Okay. Jesus
Sure.
says honor me the same way that you would honor the Father. Whatever honor you would give to him, veneration, prayer, worship, you would also have to give it to him, right?
No. I'll explain how. So
What? How does it work here but not there? Like what? How does it?
That's the whole debate is like that.
Because
The
that's
same-
why-
Same one with Avery.
Yeah, because that's why. Yeah, that's why. It's like that's it. That's crazy. Whoa, wait a minute. I
When they come to Jesus, this error, no words then stop meaning what they mean.
we would do this with Muslims a lot actually. Like you like give them a scenario, and I would just like, for example, I would ask Muslims like as like, you know, for just take anything. Okay, let's say grammatical mistakes or something like that. I'd be like, hey, if someone's learning Arabic and they say a sentence like this, and what I would do is I would keep the grammar the same way the Quran says it, but I'd swap out the vocabulary words. And then they'd be like, oh, that's incorrect. Like, I was like, are you sure? Like, yeah, that's completely wrong. I'm like, no, I think that's right. Well, you don't know Arabic. I mean, no, but I think that that's the right way to do it. No, anyone who writes like that doesn't know Arabic. And then I show the Quran saying the same thing, and they just,
They
oh no, it's correct now. It's correct.
It's correct
It's,
now.
it's like what? Oh man.
here, this is the interesting part that he wanted
He's
me
gonna go
to
away
skip
from the verse,
over.
okay.
No, see, no, I'm not getting away from
All
it.
right,
Yes, you
I'm
are.
100% not
He said
running
no.
from it.
So you're
Let's
gonna
let
use
him
only
qualify
verse
it.
23?
Not. I'm
Let him
not
qualify
running
and-
from
and
nothing.
Pay attention though.
I don't have to only use verse 23 because he knows the rest of the Bible goes against
He
his
wants
point.
to use verse 19. Let's
no,
see
no,
it.
When you're
Well,
looking
watch
at
him,
me, that means
watch
you
him,
should
watch
just
him,
let
watch
me
him run
finish this
from it,
thought. We
right?
do want to
Okay.
be mindful of our time. We're gonna start wrapping these up here shortly. So go
Now,
ahead and finish your
interestingly,
point.
Give him some time.
interestingly, the author of John does not say that Jesus did make himself equal, but rather the Jews sought that, and that's why they went to kill him. That's the first point that I want to make.
This is he called God his
Secondly,
own
now
father.
he's
Hold
interrupting,
on,
right?
hold
Interruption,
on,
interruption,
hold on,
interruption.
hold
Same as you,
Right?
same as you, same as you. There's no problem.
Okay, now interestingly, in the same chapter, which he doesn't want me to read,
Didn't say
I can of myself do nothing.
Continue.
The Son
already
can
read
do
that.
nothing.
Continue.
Can God?
Hold
Don't tell me to
on, hold
continue.
on. Let
I
him-
did.
No, thank you.
Hold on.
No.
So you don't
No,
wanna
no.
keep reading the
You
verse?
let me
All
read
right.
and let me speak, and I don't need you to tell me when to continue.
I don't
when
want to
I
get
need you
caught
to
up
not
in
read a
this.
half
I
sentence.
can
I
of
could just end
myself
this
do
right now.
nothing as I hear. I judge. My judgment is righteous. Why? Because I do not seek my own will, but the will of the Father who sent me. If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. Therefore, another who bears witness of me, and I know that the witness which he witnesses of me is true. In fact, in the same chapter, same down, not running from anything,
Yes, you are.
it says, I have come in my Father's name, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, him you receive. How can you believe who receives honor from another and do not seek the honor that comes from the only God who sent Jesus?
Okay, so that was absolutely rubbish. So here's the problem that I have. Don't close my book, open it up again. So here's the problem. In verse 19, because you actually quoted verse 30, you didn't actually quote verse 19. Verse 19 specifically says, this is the one that you wanted to do.
Nope.
Most
Don't tell me what I wanted to do.
I wanted to do 18, you wanted to do 19, and then I made you do 23. So
Yeah, he's just gaslighting right now. Jerome asked him about verse 18. He said, we have to read the next verse. We have to read the next verse. He says, you want to read verse 19? What? I didn't want to do that. Come on, dude. Because you got burned up on it. And he said, if you're reading 19, go all the way to 23. Even just finishing verse 19 burnt him up, right? That's where Jesus does everything that the Father does.
Anyway, so to get back to it, verse 19 says, Jesus answered and said to them, most assuredly I say to you, the Son can do nothing of himself. That's a half sentence. Would you ever make me quote a half sentence, moderator? She's shaking her head. So here's the thing. It's not my mod. I don't know her from anywhere. I don't know her from Adam. So it says, most assuredly the Son can do nothing but himself. But then it says, but whatever he sees the Father do. So we can both agree in the Bible that Jesus Christ became a human being. He was a human being, right?
Are you asking me a question?
Yes, it's a yes or no.
You made comments
Did Jesus
and I
Christ
need
become
to
a
address.
human being? Yes or no? Did he
According to the
become a human
Bible,
being? Yes.
he was human, yes.
Okay, did he have to watch the Father do it first?
Can you repeat the verse that you were quoting just so I
The
can
Son
follow
can
along?
verse 19. The
From
Son can
John
do
what?
John
John
5, the same one
Wait,
you
what
did.
planet is this?
I did not read
So you
19.
wrote a different chapter entirely.
He did read-
It's the same
Of
one.
course
You
he
hear
didn't
me
read-
saying he
of
didn't
course he
read
didn't
verse
read any of it.
19? He's just saying he didn't
Wow.
read. He literally just read verse 19 a couple minutes earlier,
Yeah.
and he's saying I didn't read verse 19. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
you read 19 to 23. Actually, it was 18 to 23, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 18 to 23.
18 is.
Yeah, 18 to 23.
You know what? You know what this reminds me of? It's the parable of the sower, and the hard ground. The seed goes along the path, and the birds just come and eat it up, and they don't even remember it. And like he just read verse 19. He insisted on reading verse 19. And then he has no recollection of verse 19 and says he didn't read verse 19 and didn't want to go there. And it's like, it's just the word's right there. The word's right there. It refutes him. And it's just Satan comes and snatches it out of his brain, apparently.
So John 5:19 says, the Son can do nothing of himself, but whatever he sees the Father do, the Son does in like manner. So for you, you're saying that he has to not do anything of himself, but the qualification is whatever he sees the Father do. So he became a human, right? Jesus. Did he have to watch the Father do it first?
He did not.
So this is
This
specifically
verse doesn't
saying,
make sense. And
it's not that the verse doesn't make sense.
He just ruined his own point.
How am I ruining my own point?
Okay,
All
can
I
I
did
can I
was
explain now?
He said I ruined my own point. I'm going to explain why it's
You
not
did.
ruined. So the reason why it's not ruined is just St. Augustine's point. St. Augustine's point is saying that this is not talking about the fact that the Son doesn't actually have a will at all. It's saying that the Father and the Son's will themselves are united. And we understand that specifically where Jesus Christ says, I and the Father are one. That means their unity of will. We also see the same way where he says that the Father has given the Son life, which is all the properties that actually are associated with that as well. So to actually get back to John 5:23, you said, okay, that if we honor the Son the same way that we honor the Father, whatever honor you would give the Father, which includes worship, you give it to the Son as well. Can we agree on that? Do you agree,
No.
Uthman? You don't agree.
I don't. Can I
So
speak
you
now?
are not honoring the Son the same way you're honoring the Father.
Can I speak?
That's the question. Go ahead and
You just catch that, guys?
Mhm.
Jesus said that if you don't honor the Son the same way you honor the Father, you're not honoring the Father. And Sheikh Uthman just said he's not going to honor the Son the same way he honors the Father, which means he's not honoring God, period.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
elaborate.
Sig doing us
No,
proud.
because again, when you're saying honor, that's a broad category.
It's
It
not.
does not. Again, if I keep getting interrupted, then I can't speak.
Hold on. We
So-
understand words colloquially, correct?
Thank you.
Okay.
So he should
honor
use the
does
actual
not-
word that's used in the text.
That's what we need to understand. So far, we've debated the idea of the word Almighty. We've debated the idea of honor. Now we're getting into these very weird semantics where we're trying to claim we don't understand the word colloquially, but then trying to veer it in. It's a cherry pick, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's against you.
I'll take it back.
Did Sig get up? Wait, did Sig get up here?
They got to
Say-
get up on that. He's like,
And Sheikh Uthman, that's cherry picking. Exactly, it is. No, I mean you, dude.
He's like, exactly, yeah.
I just want Muslims to notice who's playing the semantics game.
Yeah.
Is it Christians who are asking what honor means, what Almighty means?
What's a debate?
What's a
what
debate? What's
means?
honor? What's honor? Honor can mean all kinds
Or
of things.
is it the other side?
I backed it up a little bit. Let's see.
The idea of the word Almighty. We've debated the idea of honor. Now we're getting into these very weird semantics where we're trying to claim we don't understand the word colloquially, but then trying to veer it in. It's a cherry pick, right?
Exactly.
Well, it's against you.
No, it's not. All right, because I'll let you finish.
I'm not trying to embarrass you.
No
What
problem.
I'm saying is if we say, well, yes, I would understand this colloquially, but then later say, no, I'm not going to take it colloquially. I'm going
I
to
am.
separate it from that, right? So that's what he's trying to
Thank you.
that's what he's trying to communicate
I
to you,
get
but
it.
then you're trying to separate it in a cherry picking sense.
I'm actually not, because when you say you honor somebody,
moderator.
Hold on.
it does not necessitate worshiping them. If
Sheikh Uthman, I just want to help you because you keep doing it. Necessitate. You're leaving out a syllable. It's necessitate. Keep in mind, I also have issues. So at first I just thought you were kind of you just misspoke or something like that, but it's like certainty with Sheikh Uthman al-Hakim. Right?
Yeah.
It's not certainty, it's certainty. It's not necessitate, it's necessitate. So
Necessitate.
this isn't an insult. I always quote the famous quote. Don't criticize someone for mispronouncing a word. It means he probably learned it from reading. So that's good. I'm just for moving forward. You can avoid the tiny little distraction by putting the extra syllable in there.
I say, for example, I was sent by the president and you need to respect me because I come with his authority, not my authority, his authority. It means that you need to obey me because I've come with that authority. It does not mean that everything that you necessitate to the president, you necessitate to me. And the interesting thing, which he has ruined his own point here, is when he says that the son cannot do what in the like manner except what he sees the father doing. So that's a great point that he's made against himself, because obviously the father did not become a human, even according to Christian ideology.
Yes.
Right? So that means that verse actually flips on him.
No, it doesn't.
Now, when I quoted the further verses, he didn't even address them.
I did.
That Jesus cannot do anything of himself. Can God be at the mercy of anybody else? That God does not have his own will? Obviously not. God is all powerful and all capable at all times.
And almighty, just like Jesus in Revelation 1:8 that you lied about.
When again, you're cutting me off again.
Point. I'm not going to cut you off.
I'm not.
You're mumbling to yourself. Let's try to at least
Thank
just
you.
hold it.
Please don't mumble.
Hold it in,
It's a
okay?
different
Right?
point, man.
It is not a different
Yes,
point.
it is.
In fact, these verses I read to you from the same chapter and just absolutely skipped over them. That only the true God is the one that sent Jesus is in those verses. You didn't even address any of that. Now, to the point of Jesus saying, I and the Father are one, then in the same chapter of John, he also says that the disciples and him are one. And this is here in John 17:20. I do not pray for these alone, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, that they all may be one, as you, in the same manner, as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they may be one in us.
Notice he really wanted to get out of John chapter 5 and go to something that he was actually prepared for. So he probably sounds like he knew someone would bring up I and the Father are one, so he wanted to be ready to jump on that. But he took the first opportunity to try and jump out of John chapter 5. We're over 3/4 of the way through, so there's under 10 minutes left. Take some super chats real quick and then finish this section of the debate up. Ex-Muslim ready to be interviewed. Reply on P. I don't know what.
Patreon?
I don't know what. Oh, is that what it means?
Maybe they don't let you type Patreon. Is that like a censored word on here? I don't know.
Don't know. SIG is W Eastern, West Eastern Orthodox representation. W, what's that?
Win.
Win Eastern? SIG is Win
Like
Eastern Orthodox?
Yeah, like a W. Instead of an L, it's a W.
Okay.
Yeah, he's winning.
D-Wood, we need our daily foot kicks. Giant DOC, I'm a bot. Can you see my feet?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they want me to do this while I'm watching.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. D-Wood, please say this with a robot voice. I'm a robot that has been programmed to say perfect. Perfect, 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 another perfect. That work? Love from, I can't even see that tiny little flag on this.
I think it's Brazil.
Brazil.
Love from Brazil. Keep exposing dawah. And so we shall. They're just making it really easy. D. Wood, I'm at Pride. Can you tell me more on how this leather strap works? Thank you for your help, bro. Yeah, ask him about the zut there. Del Wood, have you seen the God Logic clip that was made using the Uthman criteria? No, not yet.
Oh, you have to watch that. That's actually hilarious. So
is that from this debate? Is that about this debate?
No. Well, okay. So Uthman had how he had like this whole thing for like, if you guys are gonna clip me, make me look strong.
I saw that.
So they made like a parody of that for Avery, like making him look really strong and like editing things in a way
funny.
that would. Yes.
Yeah, so if anyone didn't see that, I did see that Sheikh Uthman put out something for $10,000 for people to clip this live stream, but it had requirements in there, and you must make Sheikh Uthman look strong, and it's all this. Oh my goodness, man! This is what they have to do now. We've got D Wood's field reporter Issa Kabir. God bless you, Jai, DOC, and D Wood. Oh yeah, because he was out. He was out on the scene. I'm sure they like this much. He has a God Logic said very high about moderator. Oh, that's good. Off topic.
We just got two very different.
Yeah, we got very different.
Two different
views.
Opinions on.
But our feelings also changed throughout.
Off topic, but what do you think would happen if Malik met a real blood? Sorry for the weird spacing. YouTube won't let me send it. I mean, if it was someone Pyru, the only explanation for how he gets to keep running his mouth is they just probably have absolutely no clue who he is. If they did, they would not be letting the world's biggest snitch claim to be part of their gang. She handled Uthman the way a mom handles a child. Well, that's what you got to do with these Dawa guys. Uthman has mastered the skill of misunderstanding. He doesn't have a degree in Hadith sciences. He has a degree in misunderstanding. He has a PhD in that. Muslims and leftists, I don't understand what simple words and questions mean, not in the zut sense. That helps. Did you hear about Uthman's $10,000 offer for clips? Yep. Issa, also, David looks like a teenage girl watching some drama happening. I love your new setup. This is a temporary. And God bless the power couple, Giant DOC.
God bless.
Everyone, the Dawa clowns wish they had our power couple here. I made the short about if Christian apologists edit their clips according to Sheikh Uthman's clipping rules.
You did that?
Oh, okay. So that's Punch.
I think IP tweeted it. I don't know. Actually, let me if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it. I think IP tweeted it.
Yes, that's from Punch Bowl Haircut. Says, if Christian apologists edited their clips according to Sheikh Uthman's clipping rules, IP and Ruslan liked it. Hope y'all can check it sometime. I will. Do you know how a Dawagandist is? Do you know how a Dawagandist are lying? Their lips are moving and their hands are typing. However, Mo's hips don't lie on the night of Al-Zut. That's true. Thanks for all your work, guys. ETS and the Apologetics Conference are coming up. Are you still interested in eating a Carolina Reaper? We can do it on the last day of the week in case it wrecks you. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm interested in eating a Carolina Reaper, but if you think I'm going to be scared of eating a Carolina Reaper, then yeah, we'll do it and we'll record it, and I'll probably be dying on the ground. Yeah, so guys, the Carolina Reapers.
Pretty dangerous.
Yeah. It's the world. It's supposedly the world's hottest pepper. Apparently, there are a couple things that people think might, but that's like that was the world record holder. So years ago, people would post videos of them trying to eat it, and then they're like dying on the floor, slobbering all over the floor, dying for the next half hour.
Can you eat it with something? Like mix it in with something?
No, you just have to eat it. You just have to chew it up and eat it. But apparently. You might be out of commission the next day, just feeling sick. So that's why he's saying we do it on the last day. But yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. And I will be humiliating everyone and say, you see, David's finally crying. Unless I just handle it like a boss and I'm like, that ain't nothing. Let's see. Uthman saying, you say Bruce is God, and Dr. Nasser saying, oh, you believe Stone is your God is same category. Isa might be the final boss taking notes for the final battle versus the cult of Sagara. In Islam, everyone except Allah can be almighty. Allah can only be a normal temporal dude who is not all-knowing and not almighty, but at least he has two right hands, I guess. Just don't imagine it. Yeah, so he's pointing out some of the things Muslims say. I mean, Koro is pointing out that Allah is not, he's not omnipresent. He's not omnipotent. He's temporal. It was just wild stuff. But he's got the two right hands. Sig is one of the main evangelists that got me to convert from paganism to Christianity alongside D. Wood and AP. God bless all of you, everyone. Awesome to hear.
Wow.
Yeah, guys, I've got Sig's channels in the description, so check out Sig. He's out there crushing these dudes like it's a sport. Is the desk flipped over because AP fell on it? That would be the most likely explanation. Ezra Almighty played 5D chess and became the most preserved Almighty Son of God. And here's the way the cookie crumbled for all Jews. Hail Ezra. He even put, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That was Bruce's little slogan in Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
Stay out of my mouth, Sahi Ketchup. You ever hear?
Oh, because he did we get to that part yet?
Uthman said it.
Yeah, Uthman says that.
Said that sentence.
Wow.
Yeah.
You ever hear of that anime called Death Note? No. Sig wrote Uthman's name in the Zut note with cooked by footnote as the cause of Zut. I guess we'll find out more about that later. Islamists have a license to lie, and as 007 license to kill, is that not literal description of the devil? Strange. Yeah, it is pretty weird and creepy. Ibn Shirkman reading skills are horrible. Yeah, that's true. Uthman doesn't understand what church father means. That's also true. The far left on the screen, Uthman looks like Castro. What is a scholar? What is a woman? He does have Castro vibes there. Is Isa just driving off to get lunch? That was earlier, man. Challenge for Muslims. With all your scholars and claims on the corruption of the Old Testament, New Testament, why can't you simply set in stone what parts are added and what parts aren't? Then they use the corrupted books in making a point. Sheikh, in a way, yes, but always know if it helps me. That is the general rule there. A comedian rapper called Crack Amico just dropped a diss track towards Sneeko. Give it a listen, probably off screen, lol. I'll check that out. Gotta love a Sneeko diss track. Sam Shamoon could never lay on his stomach to do a live stream, just saying. Sam out here catching strays now. Think 18 minutes is bad. We're 1,400 years into debating a lie. His point doesn't work on an Orthodox because we don't view anyone outside of the church as Christian, even if we grant the ecumenist position. Doesn't the Shiites and Sunnis have different interpretation of Quran when it comes to doctrine? Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
The Muslims are saying Malik did a live announcing Korah dropped him as a manager. That would not be surprising. We've known that was a matter of time, but don't worry. We'll,
Shocker.
Yep.
We literally thought about it last week. We said it on our live stream.
Yeah.
We said watch them have a falling out, and within days it happened.
I mean, we were talking about like
Narcissism.
and we were talking about the devaluation. Like the first of all, like the love bombing, then the devaluation period afterwards, and we were like, and I guess Muslims were listening to our live stream. They went to Malik, and
He flipped out.
he said that it was like influencing the Muslims. I don't know if that meant it was influencing Korah and Itachi, but we didn't even mention him too much. We were just talking in general terms. Yeah, we were talking about narcissism in general, like the love bomb. Then all of a sudden, like 6 months later, sometimes even a week later in some cases, but whatever, some period later, all of a sudden you're like the worst person in the world, and you have nothing. You're nothing.
It's black and white thinking. You go from being the angel to the devil tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did with his niqabis. Now we predicted it.
So that's every single person, even family of a narcissist, go through that. There's no exceptions to that.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope it's only Malik who's like that and not other people. Almighty was missing. Almighty was missing. Then verse wasn't there. Then Revelation never existed. Then Bible made in Nicaea. Then I'm hallucinating the debate a day later in a footnote. Yeah, that's the evolution of Sheikh Uthman there. Did you see the Lawrence Fox debate in Oxford Union when he took out the caricature out of the envelope and said, "In this envelope lived your fear"? I did see that clip. I'm supposed to go live with AP later. I'm not sure, but I'm sure we're going to cover some of that Oxford debate here at some point, if not tonight. I really would like to shake Mr. Uthman. And D Wood, would you ever do a live X Space and have some of us join? It would be on a serious topic or just for fun. We could do that. I'm pretty terrible with technology, but yeah, once we get everything squared away and we got normal stuff up and running, then yeah, we can do something. And
Yeah.
Sure Hope Uthman has a good arch support for all that tap dancing he's doing. Yeah, he'll have some painful foot problems. All right, let's finish this up. Under 10 minutes left. Let's see what happens. Sheikh Uthman, you got to redeem yourself here, buddy. You just ran from John chapter 5, but let's see.
Okay.
So if the premise is Jesus saying I and the Father are one makes him God, then everybody who comes after it would be as well.
Never said it.
Okay.
Just never said it. So,
And for timing purposes, here's what we're gonna do, because I know that one's probably gonna irritate the crap out of you.
I have to respond.
I'm
to
gonna
that.
let
And
you.
know
I
that.
am gonna let you respond to that, and then he gets a response, and then
Wow.
we will. It's been like 30 minutes.
Okay,
bro.
so here's the thing that we're gonna do. So I have to make sure that I respond to this very, very fairly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So remember that he keeps saying the not do anything of yourself. I addressed all of that because that's a point. Those aren't the verses. There is a point. So there's a distinction, a difference, which you know, between the point that you make and the verses that you cite. I can cite 10 verses. They all make one point. All I need to do is address this really big thing that I have with my ring here, okay, is a point. The point that you're saying, Uthman ibn Farrokh, what you're saying specifically is this, that when the Son doesn't do anything of his own, it means that he has to be having some sort of deference to the Father, and that this will of the Father and the Son is sort of diminished. But the point that's being made is that the Father and the Son actually are identical in will. That's why when he says sephton, which you don't know the Greek word, sephton specifically means separate. Of himself literally means ekafton, it literally means a separate will. He doesn't have a separate will from the Father, which, number one, is a proof of him being God. But anyways, right? So you actually get back to John 5:23. You specifically, by your own mouth today, you said that the honor that Jesus Christ gives, the honor that Jesus Christ
Little side note, guys, what Sig just did right here is Uthman tried to go out of John chapter 5 because the point was crushing him to divert to a topic that he was hoping Sig would go for. Start talking about I and the Father are one and so on. And Sig just went, get over here, and brought him right back to John chapter 5, not letting him escape. So I backed up a little bit.
Back to John 5:23. You specifically, by your own mouth today, you said that the honor that Jesus Christ gives, the honor that Jesus Christ receives, is not worship. You never explained the reason why specifically that all the honors, all of them given here, that are given to the Son, the same honors that you give to the Father are not. You didn't want to go to the verse. You wanted to use something colloquial, and the moderator called you out for it. So to actually get to I can say that. It's not ridiculous. It's not ridiculous to say that. So here's the thing that I want to do. When it comes to the actual word honor, thimosi, that's the word that's used, thimosi. Specifically, that is the correct opinion that you have of someone. That's the actual way that you regard them. The way that you would regard God as the most powerful, as the most mighty, as the all-powerful, as it says in Revelation 1:8, which you wanted to dispute, that specifically is supposed to be regarded as Jesus as well. Now, I know you don't know that because you don't know a lick of Greek, which is fine. I don't know Arabic, okay?
I do know some Greek, by the way.
Do you know the word thimosi?
No, I don't.
Thank you. Makes
That
my
doesn't
point.
mean I don't
so
know a lick
here's the
of
thing
Greek.
that I'm trying to
That's
say.
okay. That's
Here's the
okay.
thing that I say. Like if I said, for example, tikanis, could you respond to me?
No.
Exactly, because
Kala.
you don't know Greek. So to actually continue,
Tikanis.
when it comes to,
How are
you
you?
can say the same thing with Arabic. I wouldn't know anything. So when it comes to that specifically, my friend, what I'm saying to you is that the honors, the prerogatives, the glorification that you would give to the
Little side note on how Tikanis is like one of the if you started studying it would like modern Greek and how people talk and stuff like that, it would be like the first thing they teach you. Say, how are you? And so anyway.
Father, which is part of honoring the Father, kathostimosi. This specifically has to be given to the Son. It's in exactly the same way that you would give to the Father. Didn't address it. You wanted to go to John 5, verses 25 to 30. John 5, 25 to 30, like I said before, is just demonstrating the fact that the Father and the Son have an equality in will. They don't have separate wills. Now, to actually address the last point about the authority thing, I think I've been pretty clear that we actually take early Christians as our authority in the church. As Christians, we take early Christians, not later academics, and themselves wouldn't put themselves above Cyprian and things of that nature as well. As a matter of fact, give me the name of any of the people that did your translation of the Bible. See if they would call themselves as more of an authority in the church than the saints themselves. Go ahead.
Are you done?
Yeah, and so I'm going to let you respond to this, and then we'll move into final thoughts. So make it.
I thought this was the final
Could I
thoughts.
get the last word then for the final thought? Since
No.
Yeah, there's literally nothing that Sheikh Uthman would even attempt that I can imagine him to respond to except the authority thing at the end, and still pretend that. Because guys, keep in mind, he completely misrepresented. If you weren't here earlier, he completely misrepresented what a footnote said to make it sound like scholars agree that the word Almighty is not there in Revelation 1:8. Completely wrong, but Jerome's pointing out we've got church fathers quoting it as Almighty and so on. So this isn't something that was made up later, but it's kind of the only thing that Sheikh Uthman has really been harping on. I can't imagine him responding to anything else that Sig just said right there, because he won't know what anyone's talking about.
That's not how it works.
Okay.
He'll respond
Okay.
to this. That was your final thought?
No.
No.
Yeah, I thought that
okay.
was the final
No,
thought.
No, it wasn't. This
Okay.
was a response to all of the
Exactly,
things
yeah.
you said. You respond, and then we will move into final thoughts.
Please.
Again, setting up a false narrative saying which one of the authors thought that they were more knowledgeable than the church fathers, you would have to speak to them. I'm not here speaking on their authority. And understanding that you said you follow early Christians. Now, interestingly, you yourself have admitted that you're not a scholar, but James D.G. Dunn, which I'm sure you know who he is, one of the most authoritative and respected scholars. You don't think he is? All right,
No.
interesting.
I don't.
All right. Well,
James D.G. Dunn is a respected scholar. That's not the same as authoritative as Sig is using it.
interestingly, he,
Which, by the
as
way,
anybody who's
Uthman would reject him when he talks about the crucifixion of Jesus as well. So
course.
it's like, of course.
It's cherry
like,
pick-
he's
everything is cherry
very
picking.
selective.
Everything is cherry picking.
Does he?
with Uthman.
Does that scholar? Does he say that the Bible says that Jesus is not God?
I'm not sure. He might.
That would be my question. Does he say that? Does he say that? That's what the Bible says.
Let's see what he's about to quote him on this right here.
Christian, and can I finish speaking? Anybody who has actually studied Christianity and understands, knows who he is, he actually mentions that Christians of the earliest generations did not worship Jesus. And in fact, he considered that if Christians of the early generations saw this, they would consider it Jesus idolatry, like idolatry, which simply would mean that Jesus is worshipped, but also would fall short from the worship of due to the one true God of the Father. Now, you're more than welcome to buy the book and read it and look at his actual academic research that the first Christians did not worship Jesus right here. Now,
We need to read that page.
Yeah, make sure
Yeah.
we say.
We need to read that.
You absolutely have to read that page, because this would be completely idiotic. Jesus is worshipped in the Gospels, and you've got the Carmen Christi, this early Christian hymn where they're singing about how every knee will bow and every tongue confess Jesus. Anyway.
after that,
Yeah.
understanding that the verses that I quoted to you, you just said, oh, that just means they have the same will. If the will is the same, that would make no sense. Then it would be no two wills. But for him to say, I can do nothing of myself, because if I judge, my judgment is not true, shows that there is another judgment. His judgment and his authority comes from the Father, and God does not take authority from anybody else.
Okay, so that was your response, Uthman. To be honest with you, it was lackluster. So here, let me get to the actual final point. This is my final point.
These are our
It's
final
my final
thoughts.
point. We can go academic for academic. James himself is a respected academic in his specific circle. In academia, in modern academia, the academy is very split on a number of issues. And not just that, the academy themselves have multiple different conferences and people that they would actually appeal to. For example, the scholarship in early Byzantine theology would not be the same academia that would have for early Christian studies or, for example, manuscript notation and things of this nature. James Dunn is an academic, but he wouldn't call himself an absolute authority on the issue. Neither would he call himself a minor authority on the issue. All he does is publish papers and makes cases. I can give you multiple academics, for example, Mark J. Edwards. I can give you people like Johannes Zachobah. I could give you people like Bo Branson. I could give you people like Joshua Sichuade. All of these other academics themselves would actually say the early Christians obviously did worship Christ as God. So if you want to do one scholar, I can give you 10. It doesn't really matter. But instead of doing those kinds of petty games, I would actually give you, and if you want the books as well, I can give them to you as well. You can do Christianity and Catholicism, for example, by Mark Edwards. That's a book that he's written as well. You can also do from, I want to say, Michael Gartner as well, who's done early Christian iconography, and he specifically as an academic, I believe he has his master's now. He's worked on showing early Christian veneration of God and early Christian veneration of Christ as well. I can keep going and going. For example, Reverend Father Dr. Stephen D. Young, he specifically shows in his book Religion of the Apostles that the early apostles actually worship Christ as God. I can keep going. For example, John Bear, Father Dr. John Bear, he does other scholarship as well. I can keep going. You understand the point. The point is, it doesn't matter about academic. I can see behind the sunglasses, bro. Now, here's the thing that I want to do. It's not about
He's really
like
good.
that.
He's really good at that. I can see behind the sunglasses.
Yeah.
academia. It's specifically about who's an authority. Those academics aren't authorities. The authorities are the early Christians, and I can name them. Saint Cyprian of Carthage believed the early Christians worshiped Jesus Christ as God. Hippolytus of Rome, Saint Irenaeus, Saint Polycarp, Saint Ignatius, Saint Augustine, Saint John Chrysostom, Saint Nicholas of Methone, Saint Gregory Palamas. And Gregory Palamas is even in the second millennium, but I can show you multiple early Christian scholars and early Christian authorities. I just gave you 6, okay? 6. None of whom you...
Yeah, and guys, some of these guys are linked to apostles. In other words, they're the next generation of apostles, or that generation after that, but they're actually connected to the apostles.
No, and that's fine. Now, to conclude on this point, if we actually want to use the biblical data specifically, you need to show, and this is the only thing I want to hear, and you can do whatever you want as your closing, please show me how you can honor Jesus Christ, honor, the specific biblical term, kathostimosi, meaning every sense of honor that you would ever give to the Father, how you can do that without the honor of worship. My final thoughts are basically he doesn't know what he's doing, and that's okay. We love you, guy.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the conversation.
Mm.
All right, now can I speak?
Yes, sir.
Again, going scholar for scholar again. If you like, I can send you many more as well. You can look at Bart Ehrman and others as well who have written early, and you can laugh all you want, but
respect.
but
that was
the fact
Bart
again,
Ehrman actually says that he'll say that maybe he'll say that, like, you know, if you can construct or reconstruct the original words of Jesus, that he doesn't, maybe Jesus, he says Jesus didn't claim to be God, and if you reconstruct, but he says the Gospels portray him as being God, though. He says that Mark definitely believed that he was God. All of the Gospels portray Jesus as being God.
And that he was crucified, which Islam denies.
Exactly.
But Ehrman says he was crucified historically.
Yeah, so Ehrman doesn't help in this debate, because the debate is according to the Bible. So you're assuming that there's you're referencing something. You're referencing the Bible that you have in your hand, Uthman. And Ehrman says according to that Bible, according to Mark, any of the Gospels actually, but Mark is like,
and he goes to a non-Christian.
Yeah.
As opposed to church fathers, he goes to a non-Christian. Mm-hmm. Are we allowed, when debating Islam, to go to a Jew or a Christian as an authority over the Quran? They'll throw you out.
No, I mean, think about this. I mean, if I were to quote a non-Muslim scholar, now we could quote all sorts of early Muslims on Muhammad and the satanic verses. This was taken for granted as something that happened in early Islam. But Muslim scholars today generally reject the story of the satanic verses. But if I were to quote a non-Muslim scholar, say, this guy says it happened, man. This guy says it happened. How much is Sheikh Uthman going to care? Or if I said, hey, Bart Ehrman says, the same guy you just brought up, that Jesus' death by crucifixion is one of the best established facts of the ancient world. Is Sheikh Uthman going to say, Islam is false then? No. And yet he'll quote, and Jerome quotes a bunch of early church fathers, and Sheikh Uthman says, but I could give you Bart Ehrman, an atheist. All right. This is dawah, guys. This is dawah.
Okay.
From his academic perspective and his authority on the Bible itself, you cannot doubt him. But because of the fact that he doesn't fall in line with your church.
Did he just say you can't doubt Bart Ehrman because of his expertise? Okay, Bart Ehrman says that Jesus' death by crucifixion is one of the best established facts of the ancient world. Yep. Okay, thank you, Sheikh Uthman. Now we have to reject Islam. Oh wait, you suddenly won't care what he says.
Mindset, you're going to laugh it off. That's all right. Now, if we look at the biblical text of Jesus having a different will, him saying the Father is greater than I, him saying, why do you call me good? No one is good but the one that is God.
Oh my goodness.
You
now he brings
so
all
many
this
references that show a different will, a different person. That is Jesus Christ on earth and after earth. In fact, the funny thing is the original verses that I quoted, you didn't address any of them. You did not address any of them. Instead, you went into these loops of your Orthodox church and who you consider to be an authority. Now, I never said Catholics do not take the church father's authority, which is another lie that he said about me. But that's okay. What I did say, Catholics have different people they take as authority than the Orthodox. For example, the Pope is an authority according to Catholics, and he would not be according to you. Just like there are other Christians, for example, Unitarians, that would not take the Orthodox Church to be an authority, and they're Christians.
They're not Christians.
Again, you can say they're not Christian.
I have a question about that. I find that interesting. So would Sheikh Uthman, because I remember he saying when he was at that Dawah booth, he said, they talked about the Yusuf Ali translation of the Quran, and he said, I don't take that translation because he's a deviant. He uses this word, I guess this is Salafi rhetoric, but he calls people who he doesn't, I guess Ismailis, Ahmadiyas, all of these people would be deviants. does he not have the same consistent position that Christians might have?
Nope.
People that might be called the same kind of narrative that he's saying.
Nope.
It's so weird. He has one standard for himself,
Yep.
and he has another standard for other people, and I
Yep.
find it weird. Like
That's
and I
what we
think
call
Sid
that's
did-
what we
yeah.
call hypocrisy, and
Yeah.
it is absolutely fundamental to Dawa.
Sig did something really interesting, where Sig said, "What? Here's a liberal scholar. Her name was Sana or Sana something. I forget, something like that." And she's like, "Well, she's a progressive Muslim who sees that the Quran can be interpreted different ways." And he's like, "Do you take her as an authority?" And he's like, "No." So then I'm like, "Then why would a Christian take Bart Ehrman as an authority on the Bible? You know, like you wouldn't." It's so weird. Like I don't really understand these da'is. Like if I was like a person who is questioning and I'm trying to figure out which tradition, if I'm deciding between Christian and Muslim, this would not impress me at all. If I were to listen to him and he's trying to make the case for Islam over Christianity, he's not making a good case for Islam at all. And even his critique of Christianity, it's so surface level. It's like it doesn't actually work. It's not working, you know? So.
Yeah. So it's kind of like what we were saying earlier about church fathers, that if you're talking about church fathers as an important source of historical information or about the Bible during their times and stuff like that, you don't have to treat the church father as infallible or something like that in order to agree that you're getting historical information. It's similar with scholars. You know, Bart Ehrman's a scholar in textual criticism, things like that. So if he says, "Hey, there's a textual variant here," I'm probably not even going to look it up. It's okay. He's Bart Ehrman. He knows what he's not just going to make something up like that. But you have to distinguish between when they're giving factual information and when they're giving their personal interpretation of verses or of other information and so on. And no, as a Christian, you're under no obligation to go along with Bart Ehrman's or anyone else's interpretations that they're giving in the modern world. You'd look at them and say, okay, is that the best or most plausible interpretation? I mean, and Sheikh Uthman, he knows this. He would never take Bart Ehrman as an authority on the historical Jesus. Why? Because Bart Ehrman would reject Islam in a heartbeat based on these things. And so, hey, it's just amazing. Whoever Sheikh Uthman wants to say, this guy, you have to go with this guy as a Christian. Really, I have to go with this atheist scholar. Yes, you absolutely have to go with this atheist scholar. Okay, then I have to reject Islam. Great. Do you want me to? No, you want me to reject. You want me to reject whatever is convenient. This, like everything is cherry picking with these guys. They cherry pick Bible verses. They cherry pick Quran verses. They cherry pick scholars. They cherry pick everything. Why? Because that's what you have to do or you have to leave Islam. All right, we're only at 44 seconds left, so let's see how Sheikh Uthman wraps it up here.
But they definitely do claim to be Christians. They have churches. They have crosses. They believe in Jesus. Now, again, yeah.
You see that?
They got crosses, y'all. If I got a Quran, I'm a Muslim.
Yeah. Hey, little side note. Do you see what he just did? There he's talking about the Unitarians. He said they claim to be Christians. They have crosses. They have churches. Okay, so Ahmadis claim to be Muslims. They have mosques. Therefore, Ahmadis are Muslims. No Muslim, according to Sheikh Uthman, can ever question whether Ahmadis are, in fact, Muslims. You heard it here, guys. Guys, it would be easy to make like 20 videos just out of the stuff Sheikh Uthman says. Take the standard that he applied to Christians and then just apply it to Islam and watch him completely. Yep. Watch him completely reject what he just said.
Again.
Please, it is his final thought. Let's be respectful.
The fact that you want to throw other Christians under the bus does not make your point valid. Okay. Whether you take the Latter-day Saints or Jehovah's Witnesses or Unitarians or Catholics or Eastern Orthodox, they all have their own chain of authorities, and that's not what we're going to go by. These clear biblical
but
texts
Jehovah's
show
Witnesses,
Jesus is not the one only true
Jehovah's
God.
Witnesses don't have crosses, though. So
Very well.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
Well done, gentlemen. Very well done.
Listen, man.
And that's the end there.
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witnesses don't wear crosses.
No, they don't. They don't have crosses. Jehovah's Witnesses don't have crosses, so they don't fit his criteria.
I don't think they even call it church. I think they call it like Kingdom Hall.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's Kingdom Hall, yeah. Watchtower.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm sitting there trying to think what point did Sheikh Uthman, what could a Muslim look at and think, oh, wow, Sheikh Uthman made a great point. That the only point that he was really clinging to the entire time was what he made up based on his own misreading or misrepresentation of what a footnote said. Other than that, everything he's saying is, I mean, gosh, Sig, burn him up, man.
He didn't address the honor Jesus as you honor the Father.
Nope.
Right.
Even though Sig asked a few times.
So, not going well for Sheikh Uthman there. All right, let's take these last couple super chats. Speaking of Death Note, I think you'd find it intriguing, David. Psychological thriller dealing with justice versus another justice. Uh-oh. Polycarp was a man of many fish. Uthman probably. Poly and carp. I want to debate the one true church. I know the debates were in a different order, but it'd be funny if Sig said, I've got a scholar right here who says you're a mushrik and points at Avery. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, pointing at Avery. Because again, if Sheikh Uthman can point at an atheist and say we're all bound by that. My source, disbelievers and heretics. My source, disbelievers and heretics. Is that not compelling? Yeah, sure is. All right, everyone. Thanks. Any final thoughts on any of this so far?
Oh man, this is going to be good to review for the next couple of days. We got a bunch of different ones to get through. Some new people that we haven't really seen before, and hopefully we can check out how they did, see how they did. A lot of people saying Anita did really well, so we'll have to check her out. Maybe we'll do a stream reviewing that as well. But it's good times. This whole debate created a huge split in the ummah. Like they were already split off. Like there was a new ummah, then there was a new ummah, and I guess it's broken now. Like they don't even have the new ummah anymore because they're all like scattered. So Uthman did a lot of damage just by doing this debate, and like just doing the debate, not forgetting about what happened in the debate. Just doing the debate caused a lot of damage.
I haven't heard the usual.
So that's
I haven't heard the usual Muslims saying "Well done, Sheikh."
No,
not many. Very rare on X. So I don't know what the Muslims are
thinking. No. I mean, and what I've seen so far is Sheikh Uthman needs to stop debating. He's embarrassing us. These guys schooled him. I thought this was your main guy. Who else is there? Hijab crashed out. Sheikh Uthman's crashing out. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Not a good time. Hey, check this out. We got Eli here. Eli says, love you, brother. Yeah, Eli was at the Seek and Share Truth conference, and it was funny because he said he knows he's got a friend who's doing Christian apologetics, but he's an Arabic speaker, and so Eli told me to read something in Arabic, but he wrote it out phonetically. He wrote it out for me phonetically, and so I read it. But apparently, what I was saying was, "You have big balls, but mine are bigger," and all this stuff.
Wow.
So it's actually funny stuff.
Eli is one of those. You're one of those. One of those types.
We saw Eli at the conference ask Jake a question.
Yeah,
we saw you, brother.
Yeah, we saw you. Yeah.
It'd be fun. Eli could get me in trouble. He'd be like, "Hey, read this," and I'd be reading it and stuff. And who knows? Yeah. Anyway, and we got thank you, Dr. Wood, Jai, and DOC, and chat. Hey, it's Issa. Issa showed up.
Hey, Issa, thank you.
Hey, Issa, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I think a lot of these debates are very embarrassing. I'm actually really shocked. Like coming into this kind of debate world, I was like, wow. Like I was doing a PhD while back, and it was interesting. A lot of people in religion, and a lot of people have very different kind of backgrounds. And like the Muslim folks really didn't know much about like Christianity. Like they knew a lot about Islam, but most people knew just their own niche. But it was really interesting going into these spaces and like listening to the conversations. I think what blew me away is that I'm really shocked on the ignorance from Muslims on Christianity and Judaism. Like I don't think that they've read these texts. I don't think they know this stuff really at all. And it's like it's kind of embarrassing. Like you're going on a stage and you're like supposed to be a representative. And it seems like you read a Spark Notes or a Cliff Notes version of the Bible, and you think that you're prepared, and then you're using your own Islamic interpretation of these texts, and then you're coming to think that you can actually have a conversation on it. I don't know. I think it's kind of an epic failure. And I've watched a lot of them, and what a lot of these Muslim da'is do is that what they're impressed about is memorization. So if you memorize a bunch of stuff, that means you're really smart. They don't actually go into critical thinking. They're not good at critical thinking and critical analysis. So if you said, hey, can you deconstruct this situation? They can't do it. And I saw one debate with God Logic versus Muslim Lantern, and Muslim Lantern was just like, and it was the same thing that Junior did to us. He's like, did you memorize this stuff? And what we said to Junior is like, it doesn't matter about this stuff. Critically analyze the argument that we're making. It doesn't matter if you can parrot stuff off. A parrot can memorize stuff and regurgitate it. That doesn't mean that that's a good argument. And I feel a lot of these da'is, they're not cutting it. It's not impressive. So they might need to go back to the drawing board.
Hey, it was cool because we had 2 giant DOCs. I wanted to know if I drag something over the screen, if it actually shows up on the screen, because I know I can like use the pull up something in Ecamm. I don't know if I drag something over the screen if it actually did, but I did, and it actually. So that's actually interesting. I don't know, like can I just? So now I actually want to do something. Just go live and just test Ecamm and to see what happens because I never know what it's until I'm actually live. But I guess that means that I could just drag like any picture or anything else or any graphic, anything I want on the screen, and it would do it. So I don't actually need to be importing things the way I normally do. It looks like I can just drag stuff on. You imagine I've been using this for years and I didn't know if I drag something over the screen that it would show up on the screen. Like that would be helpful. That's easier. That's easier than the way I've been doing things. Anyway, okay, good to know. All right.
Live and learn.
Hey, AP's here. AP, we're going live. Is that a thing? Let me check.
I see he's set up for your stream, so yeah.
Okay. All right, man. All right, so guys, we'll be live in about 24 minutes over on IP's channel. We'll catch y'all then.